Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's future with life and financial services and everything in between. Give Tara a call at 801-606-4547 or email her at tara@allstate.com for a free quote. You can even stop by her office on the corner of 20th and Washington. And remember, you're always in good hands with Allstate.
Little moments become big when you don't have to worry about your finances. Money can be a giant source of stress, but it doesn't have to be. Here at Ascent Credit Union, we work to empower our members to be able to manage their money easily, quickly, and most importantly, without stress. When you aren't worrying about your finances, you get to enjoy life more. That's why we are here. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
With so many options available, you may find it difficult to distinguish between contractors and which one is the best qualified to handle your important project. We would like to make this decision easy for you by summarizing what sets us apart from our competitors. Kier Construction has an experienced staff, annual revenues exceeding $100 million, and Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in multi-unit and commercial construction. Kier Construction invites you to experience the difference. Call us at 801-627-1414.
Don't be a bench warmer. Call the insurance center so that you can get on the field and have a good time and get your insurance done properly. Go Raptors!
Welcome into the Ogden Raptors broadcast network. Arden Locke here alongside Tyson Whiting to bring you Game 3 of this series between the Great Falls Voyagers and the Ogden Raptors. So far, this series has been split, but those two games had absolutely no resemblance, Tyson.
Yeah, those two games had absolutely nothing in common. For Great Falls on Tuesday, they had 8 home runs, 5 doubles. They had 19 hits. 13 of them were extra base hits in a 16-13 Great Falls victory. Ogden did perform well offensively with the 13 runs, but last night the Ogden pitching staff did an outstanding job, allowing just 9 hits and 4 doubles. No home runs for Great Falls on Wednesday compared to the 8 they had on Tuesday. Ogden's been rolling offensively. We had a little bit more of a Pioneer League version of a pitcher's duel with a 6-5 game last night, and Ogden obviously is looking for Chase Chapman to come up big this evening.
Yeah, you alluded to it. Chase Chapman will be on the mound for the Raptors. It'll be Sam Lavin on the mound for the Voyagers. We will dig into that in a little bit when we come back from the break. But before that, it's just been very interesting to see the excitement surrounding Caleb Bunch. He was the starting pitcher for the Raptors yesterday. He went 5 innings, only allowing a few runs, a few hits. It was a dazzling start for him. He also worked 6 strikeouts compared to just 2 walks. That was a big number there for Caleb Bunch, and really important to see more people filling into those starting roles. Up to this point for the Raptors, it had kind of only been Nico Saltzformaggio. On the other end, Esteban Hernandez had a great game to start off for the Voyagers on the mound, and they fought back nicely. I mean, they had a 3-5 deficit going into the 9th inning, and a couple good pieces of hitting got them right back into the game. And then it ultimately was a Hank Dodson single. He was 3 for 4 last night to get the winning run on base. And then the hero of the game, Bradley Pell, a line drive single into center field, helped score Dylan Wilkinson, who was pinch running for Dodson, over from second. Huge stuff for the Raptors last night. They moved to 11-9 on the season. The Great Falls Voyagers fall to 7-13. And like I said, this series is tied up. Coming into the game 1, the Ogden Raptors had a 7-game win streak, but all good things come to an end as that was broken in game 1. The Voyagers, on the other end, haven't strung more than 2 wins together all year long. And yesterday followed suit, as that would have been their 3rd win in a row. But Tyson, what are you looking out for tonight?
I'm looking for Chase Chapman to set the tone this evening. I'm looking for the Ogden offense to continue rolling. They have 128 runs over their last 9 games. They're averaging 14.2 runs per game over their last 9 games. And I kind of think back to that Sunday on May 31st when the Raptors scored 17 runs in a victory over Missoula, and that really jump-started things as the Raptors have won 8 of their last 9 games, beginning with that big 17-run output on May 31st. And so I'm looking for the offense to continue to roll for the Raptors and see if they can pick up another victory here at Lindquist Field. And the Raptors now have a winning record with the record of 11-9 on the season.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go over league standings, defensive alignment, offensive batting order, and all that good stuff. That'll be after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
There is no substitute for experience. Windward Electric is the foremost complete commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We're committed to excellence, integrity, accountability, and professionalism. We cherish our legacy and value relationships as we strive to provide electrical projects with exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote, or visit windwardelectric.com today.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon next to an open prairie fire while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Our indoor recreation of the American Pioneer West provides a great atmosphere for intimate dinners, special events, and large banquets. Check out our menu at prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting. And as we look into it, there's been more movement in the league standings in the Pioneer League. Long Beach Coast bounced back after losing their first game 2 nights ago in quite a while. They had a 12-game win streak entering into that one. But they would pick up a win last night to move to 16-4. The Billings Mustangs, who had been leading the Pioneer League at 15-3, pick up a loss. So they are now 15-4. Then you have 2 teams at 13-7 in the Boise Hawks and the Glacier Range Riders. 2 teams at 12-8, the Paddleheads and the Roadsters. And then you have the Raptors sitting at 11-9. Just barely below them, 8-12 are the Ballers and the Freebirds. The Great Falls Voyagers, third to last in the league right now. And then you have the Red Pocket Mobiles, who have won 2. That's their second and third wins of the year to get them to 3-17. And then the Idaho Falls Chuckers continuing to slip. They have lost 13 straight. But we talked about it last night. It's very bunched in the middle of those Pioneer League standings. Obviously, Long Beach Coast and the Mustangs have separated themselves just slightly with those 16 and 15 wins. But between the Boise Hawks all the way down to the Ogden Raptors, there's 5 teams in there only separated by 2 wins.
That's what makes the rest of this week huge. Great Falls has struggled a little bit in the standings, and so for the Raptors, they got to find a way to take care of business here on home field and see if they can find a way to stay within striking range of Long Beach and Billings. The part of the standings I'm shocked is the Idaho Falls Chuckers are usually a pretty consistent winner. And to see them having lost 13 in a row and only have 1 win so far this season is an absolute shocker to me, as they're usually a consistent winner right up there with the Raptors in the Pioneer League standings year in and year out.
You know, Tyson, when it comes to value, Red Pocket Mobile knocks it out of the park. Premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month, and that price stays locked in. No curveballs. Step up to better wireless at redpocket.com. Proud sponsor of the Pioneer Baseball League. Red Pocket Mobile, save hundreds per year on cell service. The Great Falls Voyagers are the visiting team. and they will be up first tonight. We'll go over their batting lineup. Starting off, it will be Aiden Redahan. He had been playing second base all series long. He's now going to move over to first base. Kyle Schmack and Tommy Speck will follow him up. Will Rogers in that fourth spot. He's replacing Ethan Ott in the cleanup spot. And then you have Anthony Swenda, Trey Cruz, Antonio Barranca, Vincent Temasavari, and Willie Ponce. So both Trey Cruz and Willie Ponce are getting their first 2 starts in this series. The bats cooled off, obviously, a bit for the Voyagers last night. No one on their team had more than 2 hits. Will Rogers still the man to look out for. He had 2 home runs in the first game of the series. And then also Aiden Redahan, the only player who has multi-digit at-bats, who also has a batting average of above 400 at 444.
Great Falls has really been on a roll offensively as they have scored 71 runs in their last 5 games. You saw Willie Ponce at the bottom of the order batting 9th. He is making his Voyagers debut. He played earlier this season at High Point University where he hit .315, so he's a new addition to the Voyagers lineup. Certainly going to be big without Ethan Ott in the lineup, as well as Zach Blazak, the Park City native who hit second in the order last night. He is not in the Great Falls lineup this evening.
And then looking at what the Great Falls Voyagers will be going up against, the Ogden Raptors defensive lineup is as follows. It'll be Chase Chapman out there on the bump. He has started quite a few times this season. Let's see, this will be the 5th start for him of the season. His last time out was against the Idaho Falls Shuckers in Game 4. He went 6 2/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Also allowed 1 home run. We'll get that diamond alignment popped up there for you in a second. Behind the plate is Dylan Wilkinson. He will be catching tonight. And in first base will be Tyler Gannis. Second base, Cole Jordan. Shortstop, Chase Valentine, and Gio Ferraro will be moving over to third base. So a couple switch-ups in that diamond alignment. Tyler Gannis getting his first start in the infield. He's primarily been playing left field. Dylan Wilkinson is starting at catcher. That's his 2nd start at catcher this season, first one at home. And Gio Ferraro moving over to third base to take the place of Carmine Lane, who is not in the lineup tonight. The outfield stays somewhat the same. Bradley Pell, Colson Lawrence, and Garrett Bavacqua. Garrett Bavacqua coming in to replace Kyler Stancato, as they kind of have been switching on and off throughout the season. And then you have Bradley Pell moving over to left field versus when he was playing right field last night. But Chase Chapman, like I said, his last start, 6 2/3 innings. That was his longest of the year. And considering how deep into the bullpen they had to dip in Game 1, it's really important to have another game, as Caleb Bunch did really well yesterday, where the Raptors don't have to use that many of their extra arms.
And for Chapman, he was an ace on the Raptors staff last year with an 8-3 record, and he did a good job keeping the ball in the ballpark last season, only allowing 9 home runs and over 87 2/3 innings. So Chapman certainly is capable. I'm expecting him to have a pretty good outing this evening, and if he throws anything like he did last year, where he threw a lot of strikes and really was around the zone and did a good job of getting those ground balls when he needed them the most, I think he'll do well here this evening.
Last year, Chapman played for the Raptors. In 20 appearances, he had 18 starts. He had an 8-3 record on the season and a 5.95 ERA over 87 2/3 innings pitched. This year, he's pitched 16 2/3 innings, ERA of 11.34. But that's just elevated from a few poor games. In Game 5 against the Paddleheads, he went only 4 2/3 innings and gave up 6 runs. And then also against the Boise Hawks, the one that has really inflated his ERA, he was the Game 6 starter. He only went 2 1/3 innings and gave up 9 hits and 9 runs on just 1 strikeout. It really has been setting the tone of this series is whether the bats take control or the pitchers take control. In Game 1, it was obviously the bats, where in Game 2 with Esteban Hernandez and Caleb Bunch on the mound, they really grabbed the game by the reins and said, this is my game to take control of. And as followed suit, you had a much lower scoring game, only 11 combined runs versus the other one where we had a 22-13 difference. Everyone, we thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are in the Ogden area, maybe you commute to Ogden for work and just happen to be in the area, anything like that, we thank you so much for listening. We will take a second and stay right here, but enjoy the national anthem, and then we'll be back. So there we have it. The national anthem, and we're just about ready to go. Play ball has been set. Our ball girl today is Cindy Brown. And here at the ballpark today, it is Thirsty Thursday, half price Pepsi, fountain, and domestic beers. And to go along with that Pepsi, you could go and grab a slice from Lucky Slice. They have a vendor here in Lindquist Field, and let me tell you, it is good. The sponsors here today is Allstate, represented by Tara Carney, as well as Stacy Construction, who threw out the first pitch. And coming up in just a couple days, this is a Thursday game. On Saturday, it'll be the Utah Fry Sauce once again, Tyson.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Love to see that, but we were just looking at it before the game. The Salt Lake Bees now have 5 different mascots. I mean, that is a wide array. I felt like we had a lot here with Augie and Saucy.
Yeah, they had Honeybee, which I think is the significant other to Bumble. They've got a dog. They've got a dinosaur, I think, either a dinosaur or a horse. And then, of course, they got Swiggy, because on Wednesday nights at Salt Lake Bees games, they're the Utah Dirty Sodas.
The Raptors kind of following suit. So you'll have Chase Chapman on the mound, and Dylan Wilkinson is getting his second start at catcher throughout the year. Likely just resting Hank Dodson's legs, although Hank Dodson had a great day yesterday. He went 3 for 4 on the day. He had a home run as well as 2 singles, and that single that got on was the go-ahead run that ultimately scored to win the game. And then in the game prior to that, it hadn't been as great of a one for him, so it was a good bounce-back night. He did manage to get 6 at-bats in game 1, just didn't make a lot of with them. But it makes sense as the Voyagers had 45 at-bats in game 1 and 35 at-bats in game 2. So Hank Dodson had caught for 80 at-bats over the span of 2 days. Makes sense that he might want a break.
His legs are probably pretty tired right now. Key for Chapman tonight is to keep the ball in the ballpark. Great Falls had 8 home runs on Tuesday, none last night. What's tonight going to bring?
First pitch from Chapman to Wilkinson, catches the low left side for a strike. Aiden Redahan leads off the lineup for the Voyagers. They were left-hand heavy yesterday with Zach Blazik, but now alternates quite a bit as a lefty to start the order in Redahan, then a righty in Schmack, and a lefty in Tommy Specht. The 1-1 from the lefty Chapman. Swing and a miss. Makes it a 1-2 as one of the fans in the crowd pretty accurately narrated that one.
Yeah, that fan is very vocal. We'll see if that's going to keep up for the whole night. Redahan's a guy you're going to have to get out of for Chapman, as he is 28 for 63 at the plate this year.
The 1-2 is pulled. Jordan handles it easily. He'll take a couple steps and give it off to Gannis at first for the first out of the inning. 1 up, 1 down. Good start for Chase Chapman. Chapman is a guy who strikes out a decent amount of batters. He's had 12 throughout the year, which puts him about dead center of the team. But as of recently, the defense has been doing a pretty good job for the Raptors. Just a handful of errors in the last 2 games, so their defense is one that you can count on if the ball does get in play. First pitch to Kyle Schmack, hits the top right edge for a strike.
The big thing for Chapman, though, is control. He's got 14 walks and now exactly 17 innings of work. Last year in 87 2/3 innings, he walked 49.
Gets ahead 0-2 on Kyle Schmack as he took a big cut at the second pitch and didn't connect. Kyle Schmack had been batting fifth in the first 2 games of the series, 5th and 6th. So now moving up to the 2 spot, a little bit earlier in the order for him. He just barely fouls this one back. A left-handed bare hand grab by one of the Voyagers in their dugout corrals that ball.
Schmack, a native of Illinois. He's from Union Mills, Illinois, played at Valparaiso for 5 seasons from 2020 through 2024.
Do the 0-2 again after the foul ball.
He's a big guy, too. 6'1", 225 pounds, country strong.
Incoming to the pitch. This one is pulled up the third base line. Foul. We'll do it all once again. So far in the series, Schmack is 5 for 9. He's been batting very well. Game 1, he had a home run and a double, and yesterday he had 2 doubles. known to extend for extra bases. This is already done 3 times in this series. The 0-2 is just barely clipped and fouled back into the netting. Despite the 0-2 count, Chapman has already thrown 5 pitches in this at-bat.
That fastball is at 90 miles an hour from Chapman. That's about where his fastball is going to be, although it felt like at times last year he would get the fastball up to 92, 93, somewhere in that range.
The 0-2 is fouled once again. Good battle so far by Schmack. Schmack played for the Voyagers last year. About 5 guys in their roster who is making their returns. He spent time across the U.S. He played for the Peninsula Pilots, the Utica Blue Sox, and then in the NCAA played for the Valley Porso Beacons. The 0-2 misses inside on the ground. Good block by Wilkinson, showing off the agility he has behind the plate. Wilkinson really puts the util in the utility player. He's listed as utility and truly can do it all. 1-2 from Chapman. Just barely misses outside. Oohs and ahs from the crowd here.
That was a good idea from Chapman. Try to see if he can miss outside a little bit and see if he can get Schmack to chase.
2-2 now. 8th pitch of the at-bat is fouled back once again. Going to run out of baseballs here at Lindquist Field.
All right, those fans outside the ballpark, they've already got a few souvenirs.
Our umpires today are as follows. Ryan Starks is behind home plate. James Ainsworth is at first base, and Dylan Collins will be over there at third. Starks signals 2-2 as Chapman prepares, glove at the belt. He kicks and deals, and that one's inside to make the count full.
Absolutely beautiful day for baseball. It's not too hot. Temperatures, what, in the low 70s? Not a cloud in the sky. Slight breeze. This is about perfect.
And what's notable is we sit at 73 degrees, and the 3-2 pitch comes in and is swung on foul once again, is that there's not a lot of wind today. Yesterday we had 19 miles an hour of wind gusting up to 35 coming in from the left field line. Today, not much wind, just a light 4-mile-an-hour breeze, and it's supposed to just decrease as the night goes on. That largely influenced the lack of long balls. I actually was really interested if we had gone into a knockout last night, how that would have gone just with how much wind was coming in and how much it was eating up the balls in the air.
Boy, the only balls that would go out of the park would be those line drives.
The 3-2 is fouled back once again. Have to start being aware of the pitch count and everything for Chapman, as this at-bat is getting up to its 10th pitch right now.
And this is exactly what Schmack and the Voyagers want to do. Regardless of what happens, what the result of this at-bat is, they love getting the pitch count up as much as it is.
Full count once again is swung foul once again. And Schmack has been taking it both ways. He's gotten under a few and popped them out of the field. He was late on one that went towards his own dugout and now pulled one towards the Raptors dugout. Feels like a matter of time before he times one up. Full count once again, getting deja vu here, and Chapman loses the battle. That's a walk. And that's a hard-earned walk by Kyle Schmack.
Yeah, that's a well-earned walk. Not only does he get on base, but he really does a good job ramping up the pitch count of Chase Chapman.
We'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Tommy Specht. Another player who played for the Great Falls Voyagers last year. Left-hander with a very open stance. 6'3", towers there in the box.
Wide open stance.
This one is fouled out of play up the left field line. It's a wide open stance, but then his front foot, which is his right foot being a lefty, gets brought into square right as Chapman goes into his motion.
Last year with the Voyagers, he hit .306 with 9 homers, 65 RBIs. He was also a doubles machine, 21 doubles, and even had 6 triples.
Yet to have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 6. He's been quiet. This one is knocked. Cole Jordan catches it after one hop. They turn 1 at second, and they're not able to turn 2 at first, but they do get the lead runner for the second out of the inning.
It looks like Specht, he runs pretty well. Former 6th-round pick by the Rangers in 2022 and got down the line in a hurry. That was kind of a tailor-made double play ball, but because of the high hop towards Jordan and the fact that Specht runs as well as he did, there was really not much of a chance at a double play ball there.
Brings up the 4-hole hitter, Will Rogers. He's been a hot bat in this series, although he did go 0 for 4 yesterday, but was 4 for 5 in game 1 and also came in to pitch. First pitch to him is lifted into center field, retreating to the warning track is Colson Lawrence. He settles under it and makes the snag for the third out of the inning. So while the pitch count does go up, no runs go on the board. The Voyagers leave one stranded, and we're still knotted up at 0 as we head into the bottom of the first inning here on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
Welcome back here, Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network at Lindquist Field, Arden Lock alongside Tyson Whiting, and we'll take a look at the Ogden Raptors batting lineup as we prepare to see Chase Valentine, who will lead it off. You have Cole Jordan in the 2 spot. He moves back up, was kind of batting in the latter half of the order, but moving back up into the 2. Bradley Pell moves from 2 to 3. Sebastian Greco still sitting as the DH. Gio Ferraro, and then Garrett Bivacqua. And the final 3 will be Colson Lawrence, Dylan Wilkinson, and Tyler Gannis. A big bat to watch out for was Hank Dodson. He's out of the lineup as of now. Cole Jordan has been on a bit of a cold streak recently, so that'll be something to look out for. He has only had 1 hit in this series and only had 4 hits in his last 6 games. Looking at the defensive field alignment quickly as Chase Valentine comes in, you'll have Sam Lavin on the bump for the Voyagers. Antonio Barranca behind the dish. Right to left in the infield, Redahan, Ponce, Cruz, and Swenda. And then in the outfield, left to right, Schmack, Temisveri, and Specht. We'll start off the game with a pitch clock violation against Sam Lavin. Not the exact way that you want to start, so it'll be a 1-0 count quickly. Lavin has 1 start on the year. Or his most recent start, excuse me. He started more than that, but first pitch goes inside to Chase Valentine. His last start of the year came in Game 3 against the Billings Mustangs. He went 5 innings, allowed 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 home run. You'll look at it. This is his 3rd appearance of the year, or his 4th appearance of the year, and his 4th start. Had 3 coming into this game. Works a 5.82 ERA as his first 2 pitches work inside on Chase Valentine to make it a 3-0 count.
Valentine's been a doubles machine for the Raptors. He's got 13 doubles on the year and a .371 batting average. He's been a good table setter for the Raptors lineup this season.
A 3-0 pitch. Middle for called strike 1. 90 miles an hour for the fastball for Lavin.
That's about where he's going to be all night.
Lavin also a returner from the Great Falls from last season. It is college ball at St. Olaf and George Mason as Chase Valentine hits this one out of play up the right field line and makes it a full count.
Okay, he had a very busy year last year for Great Falls where he worked 64 innings, gave up 90 hits, 63 runs. He walked 26 and struck out 62. So he struck out about 1 per inning last season with Great Falls, and he's got decent control.
The payoff pitch from Lavin misses outside, and a leadoff walk is given up to Chase Valentine. So with 2 walks already in this first inning, it feels a little more similar to Game 1 rather than Game 2.
No.
Game 1 was the most walks that the Raptors had in a game in 13. Yesterday, there was only 6 walks in the game, and 5 of them were given up by the pitching staff of the Ogden Raptors. Voyagers only gave up 1. In steps Cole Jordan, looking for just his 2nd hit of the series. First pitch is sailed foul, going towards the dugout of the Voyagers and out of play as everyone ducks for cover.
Augie just barely missed getting hit there, which is certainly good. Almost got hit in the tail. This would be a good hit and run situation with Jordan, who handles the bat well, and Valentine, who runs particularly well. Ogden's a pretty efficient base stealing team. They've stolen 37 bases on the year, and they've only been caught 4 times.
Valentine has stolen 9 times. He's got about a 10-foot lead off of first base, maybe 15. He does not go swing and a miss. The pickoff throw behind him is not in time. Good attempt by Barranca, and it's also 0-2.
That's about the best fastball you'll see from Lavin. That was at 92 miles an hour. That was at the top of the zone and probably would have been called a ball had Jordan not swung at it.
So now at 0-2, Cole Jordan trying to avoid his 3rd strikeout of the series. 1 for 8 in the series to this point. Just 9 for 29 against the Chuckers as well. The 0-2 is pulled up the left field line, foul, and Jordan stays alive.
Well, the Raptors had that 6-5 victory last night. Interestingly enough, it was the first time in 9 games where Ogden had scored less than 10 runs.
In their entire 7-game win streak, as well as their loss, they had scored over 10 runs, getting into the 20s a couple times as well. 0-2 from Lavin is hit fly ball into shallow center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder, and he'll center under it, Temisavari, for the first out of the inning. Chase Valentine will retreat back to first base, and Cole Jordan still searching for that spark to get him going.
Well, it looked like he was right on it. That was another 92 miles an hour fastball from Lavin, and that got plenty of the plate, but it looked like Jordan just got under a little bit.
And that's the thing about Jordan, is he hasn't been striking out that much. It has just been balls that fall kind of in the wrong area. Bradley Pell steps in as Valentine goes for second on the 1-hop throw, but the tag is not applied as the ball slipped out of Trey Cruz, the shortstop's glove.
Well, if Cruz was able to glove that on 1 hop, it would have been a close play, but Valentine gets in there safely for his 10th stolen base, and for the Raptors, they're, as we mentioned before, very efficient in the stolen base department. 38 stolen bases as a team. They've only been caught 4 times.
Bradley Pell has a 1-0 count on him. He's the one who hit the walk-off line drive right up the center yesterday. This one worked inside on him. The Raptors are rocking baby blue jerseys today. Navy numbers and red, white, and navy piping along the sides.
Oh, it's a very sharp look.
2-0, Lavin checks Valentine on second. Pell flies this one into shallow left field. Coming on it quickly is Kyle Schmack, and he'll make the catch. About halfway into the infield for the second out of the inning.
Oh, a bit of a looper. It just kind of hung up too much there. Looked like Pell was just trying to loop it over the shortstop, but got a little bit too much air for Schmack as left fielder Schmack was able to make the catch.
The Voyagers in lime green jerseys, black sleeves, red accents with gray pants and black hats.
Kind of an interesting array of colors there for the Great Falls Voyagers.
First pitch to DH Sebastian Greco gets in there for a called strike. 77 miles an hour to start the at-bat, so starting off speed.
With Greco, he's got great power potential, and he's hitting 400 for the Raptors this year, 14 for 35.
Greco stands at the ready for the 0-1. That one misses too low and in the dirt. Barranca blocks it. Valentine retreats back to second base. Sebastian Greco played for the Raptors last year. Then they re-signed him coming into the Idaho Chuckers series. Greco batted .565 in that series. Went 13 for 23 as he watched strike 2 sail past him to make it a 1-2 count.
I know our good friend Tim Broussard, certainly happy to see him back in the lineup. I remember when he made his Raptors debut, and Tim Broussard immediately noticed just how the ball jumps off his bat. He's got great power potential to all fields.
He's done pretty well. He's gotten a hit in every game that he has played in for the Raptors thus far. Valentine steals third, and the jumping catch is made by Swenda, but he's unable to lay down the tag as Valentine was essentially below Swenda's leaping feet.
Well, Valentine didn't exactly get a great jump on that one. It seemed like a good throw would have gotten him, but the throw was high, and they couldn't get a tag on. So Valentine with his second stolen base here in the bottom of the first inning.
Valentine just 90 feet away from scoring the first runs of this game. But with 2 outs and a 3-2 count on Sebastian Greco, a hit will need to be put down to score him. The 3-2 is tapped back foul into the netting. Greco with just 9 strikeouts so far on the year, which looks like a low number, but then you compare it to the fact that he's only played 7 games, and it might be a little steeper than you want.
He's a guy that can provide a lot of damage at the plate. He's got a .686 slugging percentage, which is among team leaders.
Lavin prepares for his sign with the ball behind his back. Now comes in, kicks and deals, and that one misses outside for his second walk of the inning, and he's a little frustrated on the bump. Kind of swung his arms limply around him as he looked into the outfield, kind of looking for an answer of sorts. Greco will shed all of his protective gear and give it off to hitting coach Campy as Gio Ferraro steps into the bat.
Boy, they put Ferraro in the 5 spot specifically for situations like this, RBI situations. He's got 28 this season. He leads the club in runs, and he's hitting .438 this year.
First pitch works up and inside on him. While that pitch is a ball, it does achieve a certain level of just making the batter a little bit uncomfortable in the box, get them on their toes. That high and inside pitch prohibits the batter from digging in. The 1-0 pitch to Gio. That one misses too high as well. He gets ahead 2-0. Gio got off to a slow start in this series, went 0 for 3. He did work 3 walks, however. Yesterday bounced back a little bit better. 2 for 4, also had an RBI. .2-0 misses outside and high to make it 3-0. Ferraro, the best batting average of anyone on the team with more than 25 at-bats. He's batting .438 across 64 at-bats. Leads the team as well in home runs and RBIs. The 3-0 pitch to him is too high, and that's a 4-pitch walk.
Seems like Lavin's just overthrowing the fastball a little bit. Looks like the pitching coach is going to come out and have a conversation. And you think about that at bat that Chase Valentine had, drawing a walk, and it seems like even despite the 2 flyouts, that good at bat by Greco has kind of unsettled Lavin a little bit.
Chuck Shirley will come out to have a few words with Lavin. That's a man out there with intimidating stature. He's got some of the broadest shoulders. I think you could put a dining room table across his shoulders.
And in December, I think he can act as Santa Claus a little bit with that big bushy beard.
Kids walking up to ask him what they want for Christmas. The mound meeting breaks up, largely broken up by Ryan Starks, and Garrett Bivacqua will get ready to dig in.
It's kind of like a Montana mountain man.
It's a Montana-looking man right there. He also takes his time to come on and off the field. He has a slow saunter.
Yeah, he's not in a hurry.
So Shirley makes his way slowly back to the dugout. Barrett Bivacqua stands in his very vertical stature in the left side batter's box, left-handed batter's box. First pitch is swung on. It's tipped and caught by Barranca, and a strike.
Not seeing much off-speed pitch from Lavin. That's another fastball at 91 miles an hour. He's had a tough time in recent at-bats getting that fastball over for a strike, but he was able to get the top of the zone there on Bivacqua.
Another big swing, and Bivacqua is behind 0-2 with the bases loaded. It's Valentine on first. He's been there for quite a while, the leadoff man. Sebastian Greco on second, Gio Ferraro on first.
Valentine dancing off third base a little bit, trying to get the attention of Lavin. In fact, Valentine's got a big lead at third.
Swenda not going to cover. Valentine bounces back slightly. The 0-2 is lined through the gap of shortstop and third base. Coming around to score is Valentine. Greco will hold up on second. Ferraro holds up on second. Greco holds up on third. An RBI single by Garrett Bivacqua with 2 outs gets the Raptors on the board first.
Good at bat by Bavakwa, not trying to do too much. Has got it past the shortstop. And the scouting report might be that Schmack's got a pretty good throwing arm. Greco doesn't have a whole lot of speed, so he held up at third, and it was a quick decision by Evan Parker, the Ogden manager. But it's great to see the Raptors get on the board, and that was a huge base hit by Garrett Bavakwa, who's off to a hot start this season.
So now it will be Colson Lawrence in the 7-hole. First pitch to him is outside for a ball. Lawrence batted .607 against the Idaho Falls Chuckers, went 17 for 28. He slowed down slightly in this series, going 3 for 10, but still batting a clean 300 in this series. 405 on the season as the 1-0 pitch catches the low edge of the strike zone for a strike.
And with that huge series he had in Idaho Falls, he's now on the front of the league's website as he was the Pioneer League Player of the Week.
So the Red Pocket Mobile Hitter of the Week, Pioneer League Player of the Week. Big swing and a miss on the 1-1 pitch. Colson Lawrence was way under that fastball that worked up and out of the zone.
Well, I mentioned early on now, Lavin throws about 90 miles an hour. That was 93, so it seems like his fastball's not been anywhere between 90 and 93 miles an hour so far.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. And that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. Colson Lawrence is not pleased as he walks off into the dugout. The Raptors draw first blood. They lead it 1-0 as we head into the top of the second after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
I'm married with 2 kids.
I'm a veteran. I own my own business.
I'm a retired school teacher.
And
I've had thoughts of suicide.
But, thankfully,
My granddaughter made a point of checking in on me.
Spencer noticed when I was distancing myself.
one of my buddies, he was worried about me.
Having someone
When I wasn't myself.
When I need it most,
Help me live on.
live on.
live on.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network here at Lindquist Field. Decent amount of fans here on this Thursday afternoon, all enjoying the various Pepsi products offered at Lindquist. And I believe that we will have skipper Evan Parker with us to start off this second inning. Evan, do you have us?
Yeah, do you got me?
Yes, perfect. A good win for you guys, a walk-off win, the first of the year. What did that do for the momentum of the club?
Yeah, obviously that's huge for the chemistry of the club, how it feels in the clubhouse, so on and so forth. So really proud of my guys, just in terms of battling and, coming out with a win any way you can get one is always the goal.
Caleb Bunch had a great outing, hoping to possibly fill one of those starting pitcher spots. Chapman has been kind of hot and cold so far this year. What are you hoping to see from him today?
Well, I mean, the thing about Chapman is that I would like to see him, Chapman posted a lot of starts for us last year. He was in the rotation. He pitched in the playoffs. He knows what it takes to pitch in this league. So obviously he's going to have a bit of leash with me in terms of his productivity because I call it ring rust sometimes, a guy comparing it to fighting a little bit, you know what I mean? And when a guy trains inside a lot, doesn't really have the whole buildup of a spring training. We only have like 10 days or 12 days for spring training. So I feel like he's just going to get better as it goes on. The more that he gets on the field, the more that he kind of fights, so to say, the sharper he's going to get. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Just want to see him do his thing and continue to compete for us because he can be a horse for us in the rotation.
You guys stayed very patient yesterday with the 2-run shot by Carmine giving you guys the lead and then losing that lead. What did it mean and what mentality did you have going into that 9th inning to ultimately walk away with the win?
Well, look, obviously we talked in the broadcast earlier yesterday and you were asking me about Carmine. Hey, that's in play. Yep. Never a doubt. There we go. Anyway, like I said, Carmine being a 3-hitter, he hits that home run to put us ahead, or to give us the lead, and then ultimately we fight back and get the lead and win the game. So he is, we're hurting without him a little bit today, but he'll be all right. We're just getting him a day off his feet. So.
Is the decision to put Wilkinson back behind the plate also just kind of a resting Hank's legs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to put too much of a workload on the guy that's taking the bulk of your innings back there. And so Wilkinson was behind the plate last year when we, clinched the playoffs. So I really would like to see him develop back there more. He's ready to go. The dude is the ultimate athlete and weapon on the field. So yeah, he can play for me every day, twice on Sunday, if you know what I'm saying. So it's good to get him his reps back there.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Skip. We appreciate it as always.
Hey, yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you very much.
One out on the fly out by Anthony Swenda as we were joined by skipper Evan Parker. In the middle of the 4th inning, we will be joined by the visiting manager of the Great Falls Voyagers, Sean Rapay. Also, we'll get to talk to a player at the top of the 4th inning, but now it is Trey Cruz in his first at-bat of this series. He pulls this one in the gap between first and second. That'll go down as a base hit as it's collected in right field by Garrett Bivacqua. He'll toss that one back in. And Trey Cruz is on base to start off his campaign in this series.
Just an off-speed pitch by Chapman that just got a little bit too much of the plate, and Cruz lined it into right field for a base hit.
Cruz had not played in the last 2 series for the Great Falls Voyagers. He had played in the 12 games prior to that. Just did not make a showing in the Oakland Ballers or the Billings Mustangs series. The 0-1 misses too low to the catcher, Antonio Barranca.
Chapman looking for a ground ball here to try to turn 2. He's done a good job so far tonight getting those ground balls, not allowing the hard contact from Great Falls.
1-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. Chapman, being a left-handed pitcher, gives him a straight-on view to first base, which also helps with the double play effort as the runner over there on first, Trey Cruz, can't get too big of a jump. Chapman checks first. The 1-2 to Barranca is fouled back towards us in the booth and over our heads.
Great Falls is a team that will be a little bit aggressive at times on the base pass. They've stolen 66 bases this year in 20 games. They've been caught 14 times.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed for a strikeout. Second out of the inning is recorded with Chase Chapman's first strikeout of the night.
That was a beautiful off-speed pitch at 81 miles an hour outside the zone. Barranca just couldn't help himself, and he's a strikeout victim.
Barranca went down almost on his knees to try to swing at that one. He'll want it back. Vincent Temesvari will try to atone for his teammates' mistakes. Raptors 1, Voyagers 0 in the top of the 2nd inning. 2 outs. Runner on first is Trey Cruz. Chapman checks over to him one last time. First pitch is too high. Gets snagged behind the dish by Dylan Wilkinson.
Great Falls are a speedy team, a lot of stolen bases. The 8 home runs on Tuesday was certainly an oddity, considering through 20 games this year, they've only homered 29 times, and 8 of those came on Tuesday.
Next pitch works in the dirt low for a ball number 2. I mean, We talked to manager Rape, and he said so himself that this was not a team that hit a lot of home runs. They're used to just getting on base and running around. Ultimately, yesterday, they just didn't run across home plate enough times, but game one was an oddity, as you said. That's a good word for it. The 2-0 gets in there for a called strike.
They play at Centene Stadium, which I think is actually a pretty good ballpark for hitters. Not that far down the lines. In fact, beyond left field's a golf course.
They'd be yelling 4 onto that course for different reasons. The 2-1 is flied out of play over our heads once again.
In fact, there used to be 2 ballparks that had a golf course beyond left field. Grand Junction's Suplizio Field. They used to home the Grand Junction Club. That had a golf course beyond left field. They're no longer in the Pioneer League, but that was a beautiful ballpark for many years.
It's the Pioneer League version of the San Francisco Giants Stadium with the bay out there beyond the outfield. That one's fouled back, the 2-2. We'll do the 2-2 once again. What I've learned about this field is that you have very high walls, and I didn't know that that was a specific design feature, but the elevated wall out in the right center field area is supposed to mimic the Wasatch Mountains.
It does, so especially with the short dimensions. That's certainly a big power outing.
2-2 swing on a miss, and that'll be strikeout number 2 for Chase Chapman, and that'll end the inning. The Raptors still winning 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the second inning here on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of the Ogden Raptors Baseball Club and the Pioneer Baseball League. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Ogden Raptors and the Pioneer Baseball League is strictly prohibited.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke, Tyson Whiting here with you in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Dylan Wilkinson, the catcher's first at-bat of the night. I wanted everyone to know that I was giving updates of the NBA game throughout the game last night, and then I stopped because the Spurs were winning by 29. The Knicks came back to win that game, the largest comeback in NBA history.
So you're updating the game until the game got really interesting.
Then I just stopped looking as our game, I really should have kept looking as our game was getting out of hand here as the Voyagers kept hitting home runs. First pitch to Wilkinson misses outside. The next one does as well.
That's one of the greatest moments in New York sports history, especially if they come through and win the championship in any of the next 3 games. They'll be talking about that forever.
Generally, I would agree with you. As Wilkinson looks at a 2-0 count, he skies this one foul out of play. But in a state with as rich of sports history as New York, where you have the Yankees, you have the Mets, you have multiple NBA teams, I think that's tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of great moments. Everybody talks about 1986, which was actually a tremendous year for New York sports. The Mets won the World Series, and the New York Giants won the Super Bowl.
I feel like the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks, though, they're just entirely different areas of New York. Those are different.
Especially since the Nets used to be in New Jersey.
Yeah. The 2-1 misses too low, and it's 3-1. It's still Sam Lavin going to work out there on the mound. Dylan Wilkinson is not having his best year at the plate so far. Batting just .297. The 3-1 to him is let right into center field. This one is sailing, going to the wall, and watching it hit it and ricochet back in is Vincent Temesvari. Rounding second is Wilkinson. He'll try to extend to third, and he will do so, sliding in head first.
Didn't miss a home run by much there, and then the ball ricocheted and got away from the center fielder. And Wilkinson, he's got outstanding speed. I guess if he's catching tonight, we can say he runs well for a catcher, as Wilkinson was able to get a triple, and that gets things started off for the Raptors here in the bottom of the second.
The difficult part about the walls here in Lindquist Field is that they're so tall that it's hard to judge whether the ball is going out or going to stay in. And then when it does hit the wall, it can ricochet in any direction because it's hitting it so high in its flight path. So no one out, and a runner on third for Tyler Gannis. First pitch, strike. Dylan Wilkinson with his first triple of the year. He only had 2 extra base hits this year. Tyler Gannis is unable to connect on a ball that just snuck outside on him to make it 0-2.
Strangely enough for the Raptors, with a team that's got a lot of speed and with as many odd angles as it can play off the wall here at Lindquist Field, it's just their 5th triple this season.
I have a thing with triples where I feel like if you hit a triple, you're usually going to probably end up, it's either a double or a home run.
Yep.
It's hard to extend to that triple range unless you have a really, really favorable kick.
In Wilkinson's case, it did take a favorable kick off the wall and took a little bit of time there for Temesvari to come up with it.
1-2 to Tyler Gannis now. He hits this one foul out of play. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think I have found a fairly good parking spot. It's been a concern of mine to get hit by a foul ball. I think we've been okay thus far.
I'm a little bit concerned on a ball down the left field line.
That one would also put me in danger, so we'll both be holding our breath. The 1-2 misses low and in the dirt to make it 2-2. Tyler Gannis has been kind of on and off in terms of starting games so far this year for the Raptors. He's played in 13 games and started in 6 of them. So today is his 14th appearance and his 7th start. He lines this one right back up the middle on the ground. Coming around from third to score is Wilkinson easily. And Tyler Gannis with a single scores Wilkinson and gives the Raptors a 2-0 lead.
Good 2-strike approach by Gannis up the middle. Lavin just tried to kick it, and then it looked like the ball had a chance of kicking the second base bag, and it ended up going through into center field for Tyler Gannis. That's RBI number 6 on the season.
Good start to the second inning here as Dylan Wilkinson gives our camera in the dugout a big knuckles. If you're watching on Home Team Live, thanks for joining us. You'll be able to see all the lovely video that our camera crew brings you. First pitch to Chase Valentine is pulled, foul. We also have a YouTube audio stream that is free on YouTube. You can also tune in the park. If you want to join the conversation, you can text 385-240-1121. There it is, 385-240-1121 on the screen. Talk about those texts throughout the game. The 0-1 to Valentine. Misses just barely too high to make it 1-1.
Now that radio station in the ballpark, what's that, 88.9 FM?
I think that's right. 88.9, confirmed. Valentine stands at the ready. Red sliding glove in his back right pocket. That one works up and in on him. He has to flinch out of the way, and it's 2-1. 92 miles an hour coming in at your body cannot be a good feeling.
That comes at you in a hurry. And I think that's what makes any off-speed pitch that he throws, regardless of if it's a strike or not, it seems like Raptors hitters have to respect it because of that heat that's coming in.
Valentine pulls this one deep center left field. And that one bounces off the top of the brick wall. Man, that looked like it was getting out of here. Tyler Gannis will hold up on third, and Valentine will make it on to second. That's his 14th double of the year. That's now a team lead. Tyler Gannis didn't get a great jump on that one as he was waiting to see if it was going to get caught. And so he stood up on second for a while. That hit just about 3 feet too low on the brick wall out in left field. Other than that, it would have been out of this ballpark. It was 385 feet.
And you'd mentioned there's not much wind to speak of. I thought that was out of here. I thought that was out of here by a good long while. And after all, in the first homestand of the season, Valentine hit one 480 feet. I thought it was somewhere around that, but just couldn't find a way to get out of here.
Big swing and miss by Cole Jordan on his first pitch of the at-bat.
I thought for sure that was out of here.
So we'll say the number we give, the 385, that's the TrackMan's reading of if it were to come to a rest on the ground. When it hits the wall, obviously it stops that momentum. So that one hit the wall out there about 383-ish feet away.
Well, there that 387 sign in center field, it seemed like the ball was just a little bit to the left of that.
Cole Jordan follows the next one back to make it 0-2. No outs. Gannis on third and Valentine on second. This one is hit into the gap between center and right field. That'll go down off the wall as well. Cole Jordan will run all the way to second, and coming in from third to score as well as Chase Valentine. So a 2 RBI double from Cole Jordan, and the Raptors are up to a 4-0 lead.
Second straight ball off the wall as Jordan went to Raptors Ridge in right center field. Off the bat, it didn't look like it was going to go out, but it had plenty to get towards the wall. And for Cole Jordan, who was an RBI machine last season, picks up 2 key RBIs. That's RBIs number 23 and 24 on the season for Cole Jordan.
3 runs have now scored in this inning already. Still no outs for Sam Lavin and the Voyagers, and Bradley Pell comes to step in. First pitch to him is a ball in the dirt that squeaks to the left of Barranca behind home plate, and Cole Jordan is able to advance 90 feet to third on that ball.
Boy, so the big inning for the Raptors, that certainly get critical in any Pioneer League game is to get those big innings, and the Raptors are ready with a 3 spot in the bottom of the second inning, and they're not done yet as there's no outs here in the bottom of the second.
Next pitch to Pell is fouled back. Yesterday, a team in the game did not score more than 2 runs in an inning. That was very different than the game prior where the Great Falls Voyagers scored 10 in the top of the 6th. And that's why the game yesterday, quite frankly, stayed so close, is there wasn't that huge inning. I said it in pregame, the winner of the game is going to be the person who can, 1, minimize the big inning, and 2, possibly make it happen themselves.
So many games are won and lost that way.
Next pitch to Pell in the dirt. Good block by Barranca. Holds Jordan over there up at third, and it's a 3-1 count now.
Well, for Bradley Pell, he was struggling to get playing time there about the first week of the season, and now he's hitting third. He's a consistent hitter, and he flew out to left field in the first inning, but he's one of those guys that he can use all parts of the ballpark. And anything on the ground, he can move and maybe get an infield hit out of it.
He pulls this one directly into the glove of Ponce at second, given over to first base for the first out of the inning, but Cole Jordan will be able to score. So the fourth run of the inning comes in, and that's the 5th run of the game for the Raptors. The Voyagers still have a big goose egg.
And despite it looking like a routine ground out to second base, Pell's going to get a lot of high fives in the dugout as he picks up an RBI. That's the 17th RBI of the season for Bradley Pell.
It's also important that Jordan was able to advance to third on the squibbed ball behind home plate, because then it made him able to easily score off of that routine grounder. First pitch strike to Sebastian Greco. Next pitch, big cut, no connection. Greco walked his first time up.
Well, you can almost tell that walk in the first inning kind of unsettled Lavin a little bit, and he's kind of struggled a little bit after that Greco walk.
Greco steps back into the box, left foot first, right foot next, slightly closed stance for the lefty. Righty-lefty matchup from the right-handed pitcher, Lavin. This one is in there for a swung on and missed strike 3, a little bit up in the zone. Greco was under it. The second strikeout of the evening for Sam Lavin, gets the second out of the inning.
Well, that was one that Lavin desperately needed to get that second out and see if he can find a way to limit the Ogden damage.
Already scored 4 in this inning. Gio Ferraro flips this one high in the air into foul territory, settling under it his first baseman, Aiden Redhand, for the third out of the inning. Not the at-bat that Gio Ferraro was looking for, But the Ogden Raptors tag 4 onto their total. They currently lead this one 5-0 as we enter into the top of the third inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years, getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to Lindquist Field and the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke alongside Tyson Whiting. And in the top of the third inning, digging in will be the 9-hole hitter, Will Ponce.
This might be Ponce's pro debut. He played at High Point this season. That's the college that made a run in the NCAA basketball tournament this year.
Second pitch, is a strike to Ponce.
So it starts to be the time of the year where you start seeing guys that completed a college career and is looking to find a way to break into pro ball. And so we'll see a lot of those players like Willie Ponce join the Pioneer League this season.
He gets under this one and lifts it into left field, retreating to the wall as Bradley Pelly comes in just beyond the warning track and settles under it for the first out of the inning. High Point did very well for my bracket. I predicted their upset. I believe they won over Wisconsin in the first round.
Yeah, and then they looked like they were headed for the Sweet 16.
I had them going to the Sweet 16. They were kind of my Cinderella in my bracket, and they almost pulled off that win in the round of 32. I have never cheered so hard for a team that I did not know existed prior to March Madness this year. This one is pulled. Jordan grabs it on the slide, gives it over to Gannis at first base. And a hard hit ball by Aiden Redahan is stifled by great defense by Cole Jordan. He shuffled to his left, went down on a knee to get that one on the move, and then completed the play over to Gannis.
Well, that was a really good play by Cole Jordan, who had to race towards his left. That was 95 miles an hour off the bat. That was a very, very impressive play by Jordan for the second out.
So now we're back to the top of the batting order in Redahan, who was out, and so now it's Kyle Schmack. First pitch to him in there for a called strike. Schmack has been the only walk that Chapman has given up in 2 2/3 innings so far. This one is golfed and tapped, but it bounced off home plate before it went into play, and that'll be a foul ball.
Schmack thinks it hit off his foot. They kept playing on. It looks like he's the third out. Schmack can't believe it. He thinks it bounced off his foot. We're going to get an argument, but it looks like it's now a 3-up, 3-down inning as everybody for the Raptors is walking off the field.
So Schmack never ran over to first base. It was just nubbed off the end of his bat, bounced right in front of home plate, and then it was ultimately Gio Ferraro coming in from third base to make the play. So after some discussion, it is the third out of the inning, a 3-up, 3-down inning, and the Raptors still lead at 5-0 as we head into the bottom of the third on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 728-0454.
Hi, I'm Christopher with Absolute Comfort Heating and Air, and I would do anything to keep my customers comfortable. And when it comes to family, I would do anything for love. I'd fix just about anything. You know I would do anything for you. I won't do that.
But you won't do that.
At Absolute Comfort, I'll do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
It starts with a vision, a goal that sets the wheels in motion. The path may be rough, but with grit, hard work, and the right support, no race is too tough. No goal beyond reach. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and expertise I need to get across the finish line. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
This is Hannah with the Ogden Raptors. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, videos, and accounts of this game is prohibited without the express written consent of the Pioneer Baseball League. Copyright 2024.
So after a bit of an odd end to the top of the third inning, it's the bottom of the third here, starting off with Garrett Bivacqua, who singled his last time up.
Now, the umpires got together and they talked it over as to whether it bounced off of Schmack's foot, and they said no. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning, and the Raptors put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the second. They're looking to do some more damage here in the third.
It is still Sam Lavin out on the mound.
Now, we do have a question for the listening audience. If a ball bounces off the plate or bounces inside the batter's box and then rolls fair, is it a fair ball or not?
Let us know on that text line, 385-240-1121, or commenting on the YouTube. Garrett Bivacqua, first pitch, strike, and he's going to challenge it immediately. Red pocket mobile challenge. And the call will be overturned to a strike. I might have early called it, but I can see all the statisticians next to us. So the Great Falls Voyagers have just one challenge left.
That was a close one, just outside.
Or overturned to a ball, excuse me. It was called a strike. Garrett Bivacqua challenged it, so overturned to a ball.
It was a successful challenge by Bivacqua.
And he turned and challenged it immediately. The next pitch, though, in there for a called strike. So as I was saying, the Voyagers have one challenge left as they were unsuccessful already once tonight. The Raptors will still have 2 after the successful Bivacqua challenge. The 1-1 is also a check swing, but then still catches the strike zone, so it'll be a strike anyway. Bivacqua, son of the legendary MLB player Kurt Bivacqua.
We saw him a week and a half ago.
The 1-2 is skied into left field. Retreating to the wall is Schmack. At the warning track, he gloves it for the first out of the inning.
But it's been a great start to the season for Bivacqua despite the flyout. He's 1 for 2 tonight, and he's 13 for 25 on the season.
Colson Lawrence, the former member of the Miami Marlins organization, and playing well so far this year. Second best batting average on the team of anyone who has put together a decent amount of actual at-bats. This one is sailed into the foul territory in right field. And that one did get over the wall, but it was foul.
Well, that certainly had the distance. You mentioned Lawrence played in the Miami Marlins organization. Carmine Lane also played in the Marlins organization. What I can't figure out is why Tim Broussard is a big Miami Marlins fan of all the teams. I haven't met too many Marlins fans in my life, but Tim Broussard's one of them. Have you met many Marlins fans, Arden?
I have not. I'm surrounded by a lot of Rockies fans. That's kind of the main one. Maybe a couple Mariners, as I was born in Seattle. And then my grandpa is a diehard Dodgers fan, so he was very excited to hear that I was calling for the Ogden Raptors when I told him that they used to be affiliated with the Dodgers.
They're affiliated for many years. In fact, the last year they're affiliated, Andy Pages played for the Raptors.
The 0-2 to Lawrence is grounded. It's gloved by shortstop and given off to first base. Trey Cruz, the new shortstop in the game today. He came in for Zach Blazik, who had started the last 2 games. And that was his first action of the night. The 6-3 grounder gets the second out of the inning. I got a cool note from a fan here that was in the Dodgers game a few days ago. I think it was June 6th. The entire outfield came from the Pioneer League. Two of them, one of them being Andy Pajes, were from the Dodgers, or the Ogden Dodgers, the Ogden Raptors. And then one of them came from the Great Falls Voyagers.
Voyagers at one point were affiliated with the Chicago White Sox.
Dylan Wilkinson in now. He watches the first two balls go past him. He tripled his last time up. It was a 2 RBI triple. The 2-0 to him works inside, but inside the strike zone. That just caught the inside edge. Wilkinson lowered his shoulder and turned away from it to make it look like it was a ball, but his acting doesn't quite pay off. The 2-1 to the lefty Wilkinson, swing and a miss. Way ahead of the off-speed 81 mile an hour.
If you're talking about a turning point in this game, that leadoff triple by Wilkinson he eventually scored was certainly a big play as it got the momentum going for that 4-run bottom of the second.
They had built up some good momentum in the middle of the first, or the bottom of the first, the middle of the bottom, I guess. And then really capitalized on it right away when they came in to start the second inning. Next pitch to him misses outside, and we've got a full count. 93 miles an hour again on the fastball.
That is some heat.
Lavin's full count offering, misses inside, and that's his fourth walk of the night, excuse me.
Good eye by Wilkinson, working the count and getting a walk. I think if you're a Raptors hitter, he's got that strong fastball in the low 90s. I think if you're a Raptor, you're going to have to be patient on anything outside, anything other than a fastball. With less than 2 strikes, if it's anything off speed, I'd say you take it because it seems like Lavin's having a tough time getting those off-speed pitches over for a strike on any sort of consistent basis.
Wilkinson, speedy as ever, showed earlier when he extended all the way to third. First pitch to Gannis, misses too high. Wilkinson only 1 stolen base so far on the year.
Already seen 2 from Valentine tonight.
That number for Wilkinson might just have to do more so with his lack of extended time in games recently. He's played in 17 games, but only has started in 9 of them. And as of recently, has definitely been seeing less time in the lineup.
Last year, Wilkinson had 17 stolen bases.
2-0, 2 outs for Tyler Gannis with Wilkinson on first. Next pitch too low in the dirt, and it's 3-0. Tyler Gannis looking over to skipper Evan Parker on third base. I'd be very surprised if he has the green light in a two-out situation. Infield all playing fairly deep. The 3-0 catches the inside edge of the strike zone for strike 1. You have Swenda, Cruz, and Ponce all playing deep in the infield. And then at first, Redahan is covering the bag, so he's obviously a bit more shallow. 3-1 to Gannis. That one's too high, and it'll be another walk. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs by Lavin.
Good job by Gannis, just being patient and not chasing anything out of the zone, and that's something the Raptors have done a pretty good job of here tonight. Lavin's had a tough time getting that fastball over first strike, and Raptors hitters, for the most part, are not helping him out by swinging out of the zone.
So now Chase Valentine, who's 1 for 1 on the night. He walked his first time up and then doubled last time. He scored twice this game. First pitch is gotten under, and it's drifting into center field. Settling himself under it is Temisveri for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Raptors leave 2 stranded. That is their 4th and 5th runners they've left stranded already tonight, but they still have a 5-0 lead as we head into the top of the 4th inning here on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years. Getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting, and I believed we're joined by Carmine Lane here in the top of the fourth. Carmine, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, first off, your third year with the team and named a captain this year. How does that feel?
It feels great coming back here for another year and hopefully going to get that ring this year.
Last night, you had a pretty exciting two-run shot to give you guys the lead. What did that one feel like coming off the bat? When did you know it was out of here?
It felt great, and I knew once it went over the fence, especially with that win last night. It was kind of hit or miss whether it was going to travel or not, but it felt good off the bat for sure.
You've been playing a leadership role out on the field so far this year, holding down the fort at third. Tonight in the dugout for the game, what's your role?
Just cheering on the squad and seeing anything I can get from the other pitcher or anything I can help with Wilkie behind the plate or pretty much just anything I can do to help the team win.
Over your 3 years here in Utah, how has it felt to kind of get to know this community? What has surprised you about it? What have you liked?
Well, the community coming out every day, every night, and supporting us, whether we're on a hot streak, cold streak, it always feels nice. And coming from teams in the past where we have 100 people in the stands, it's definitely nice having people behind your back every night. Just coming back out here and knowing what to expect and having the beautiful Utah, it's wonderful.
Absolutely. Carmine, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
Valentine catches a blooper for the first out of the inning. That was Tommy Specht at the plate. He's been struggling in this series so far. Was 0 for 6 coming into this game, now 0 for 8 after that flyout.
So for Chapman, he's really settled in. He's retired 6 straight. If this game gets close, I wonder if we're going to see Carmine Lane pinch hit or get in the game some way, somehow.
This one is hit into deep center field. Getting under it is Colson Lawrence as he backs up, and his back actually hits the outfield wall on the extension of his momentum on that play, but he does still make the out. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for Chase Chapman.
So for Chapman, he's really settled in nicely. He's only allowed 1 hit and 2 base runners. Walked Kyle Schmack in the first inning and gave up a single to Trey Cruz. He was the second batter in the second inning. Otherwise, it's been all outs for Chase Chapman, including 2 strikeouts.
First pitch to Will Rogers, misses outside. Will Rogers, the DH tonight. He's a two-way player, one of a couple on the team. This one is fouled back out of play. Jordan Hamburg, who is the starting pitcher in Game 1, is another one of those two-way pitchers who can both bat and pitch. Hamburg actually holds the best batting average on the team at .680, but he only has had 5 at-bats. Wilkinson holds the frame for maybe half a second longer, but doesn't get anything from the umpire, and it's a 2-1 count. Swenda prepares, and that one misses too high.
For Chapman, this is kind of vintage of what we saw from him most of last year. And with that, when you talked with Evan Parker in the second inning, that's part of why he's got confidence that Chapman's going to return to that form.
5-pitch walk by Chase Chapman. It's just his second of the game and his first since the second batter of the first inning. So as you had said, Tyson, he had really settled in for about an inning and a half, 2 innings there. But with 2 outs, I guess that is not that you really want to ever afford a walk, but that's probably a position where you're more okay giving it up. Brings up the big left-hander, Trey Cruz. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch. Doesn't connect.
Cruz got the only hit for Great Falls so far, if I remember right. It was a bouncing ball between Jordan and Gannis.
That's exactly right. Just one hit on the game, 5 on the other end for the Raptors. No errors on either side so far. Runner goes. Wilkinson does not make the throw down. He had to pick the ball as it hit the dirt, and it was swung on by Cruz. So just a lot of extra things going on, and probably a wise play by Wilkinson, especially when the batter's at 0-2, to no need to make the play down.
Well, with Swenda, he got such an outstanding job that even if Wilkinson would have caught that cleanly, wouldn't have had much of a play. As Swenda, with 2 outs, just got a great jump on and probably got that stolen base off of Chapman more than anything else.
It's 0-2 now. That one gets behind Wilkinson. The runner does not go to third. Good job hustling back to go pick up the ball. Wilkinson simultaneously checked the runner and ran back to get the ball.
Boy, Swenda very cautious there at second base. They have that golden rule that you don't want to make the third out at third base. And I guess once he hesitated a little bit and saw that Wilkinson was really hustling back to recover the ball, Swenda just stayed there at second. A little bit surprised they decided to hold up there and not try to get to third base with 2 outs. And Swenda is a pretty good base runner. That stolen base he just had was his 7th of the season.
So after a quick chat from Wilkinson to Chapman, I'll do the 1-2 count with 2 outs. Chapman checks on Swenda on second base, and now this one is lined. It'll land just shallow in left field and go down for a base hit. Coming around third base to score is Swenda, and the Voyagers have finally gotten on the board thanks to a 2-out RBI single by Trey Cruz.
Well, Cruz been the hot bat for Great Falls so far tonight. He's got both the base hits. Valentine was playing pretty close to the second base bag, just trying to bird dog Swenda and prevent him from getting a strong secondary lead, and that was a big reason as to why that ball was able to get into the outfield for a base hit. If Valentine's playing as he is right now, he might have a play on that ball, but Cruz hit it hard and 106 miles an hour off the bat, and Valentine was just playing up the middle and couldn't get to it.
First pitch to Antonio Barranca, misses outside and 2 low. He's talked about it, said that maybe the 2-out walk you're okay with giving up and everything like that, but then that just shows why walks are so costly. A walk combined with a stolen base and then a single into the outfield scores a run. It's the emphasis of Evan Parker, the manager of the Ogden Raptors. You cannot give up those free passes. And then when you're in the box, trying to gain as many of those as you can. The 1-1 misses too low to Barranca. We have a challenge by the Ogden Raptors.
It's going to be a close one. So it was overturned to a strike. Richard Armstrong said it was confirmed as a strike, but looks like that has the home plate umpire a little bit confused. It was overturned as a ball. Or maybe I'm now confused. It was a strike. It was originally called a ball and was overturned to a strike.
There we go. So bottom line is the Raptors have challenged twice. They've been successful twice, and now it's a 1-2 count for Chapman. This one is too high. Wilkinson, a snag that made him lift his hand all the way up to eye level. And we're now looking at 2-2.
Great crowd here on a Thursday night. Everybody being treated to a thirsty Thursday. Big line in the concession stands. This is absolutely perfect.
Half-price Pepsi products and a swing and a miss on the third out of the inning. Gets Chapman his 3rd strikeout of the night, leaves one stranded, but the Voyagers do put their first run up on the board. It's 5-1 in favor of the Raptors as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning here on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's future with life and financial services and everything in between. Give Tara a call at 801-606-4547 or email her at tara@allstate.com for a free quote. You can even stop by her office on the corner of 20th and Washington. And remember, you're always in good hands with Allstate.
Hey there, baseball fans. I'm Ogden Mayor Ben Nadolski, and there's nothing more American than summertime baseball at Lindquist Field right here in the heart of Ogden, USA. From the crack of the bat to the smell of ballpark hot dogs and popcorn, this is where our community comes together and where downtown comes alive. So whether you're here for Raptors baseball, the fireworks, or just a great night with family and friends, you're in one of the most beautiful ballparks in all of America. So let's cheer loud, support our home team, and let's make some memories. Welcome to Lindquist Field, and let's go Raptors.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
Welcome into the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting, and we are joined here by the skipper of the Great Island Voyagers, Sean Rapay. Let's see if this works for our first time this time. Do you have us?
I can hear you.
We're good. We're good to go. Music
Okay,
to my ears. Once again, we appreciate your patience yesterday. Yesterday, a hard-fought game. How do you try to dust that one off and bounce back tonight?
I mean, at the end of the day, it was a good baseball game. You know, I would rather us, be neck to neck in tight baseball games, and they're not always going to go your way. I mean, I think you got to just learn and grow from when you experience games like that. And, for us to fight back in the ninth last night was good to see. We didn't give up, and, just the ball didn't fall our way at the end there. It was just a good baseball game.
How do you get some of your hotter bats back into the games? I mean, Tommy Specht and even last night, Will Rogers didn't have hits. Those are ones that you often rely on.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we were going through a spell there for 4 games where, everybody was getting 3 to 5 hits a game. And, baseball just doesn't work like that all the time. I wish it did. Had some key hitters, go on some cold spells, and, they're going to work through it. They're pros. They know what they're doing, and, they just got to keep their head up and, go up to the plate with a game plan, and, it'll work itself out.
Absolutely. Now, Sam Lavin's out there on the bump for you. He's got 2 strikeouts in the night already, but has given up now 6 walks. How do you try to maybe dial that in a little bit?
Yeah, his stuff is, usually his fastball rides a little bit, and I think he's trying to navigate it, trying to locate that heater a little bit better. And, I think he had 6 walks on the season coming into today. So, he's having a little bit of an out-of-body day, but you want to know what, he's trying his best to compete with what he has. And, that's really all we can ask for is just have him try to go out there and compete at a high level when you don't have your best.
We appreciate it. What are you telling the guys in the dugout right now to try to overcome this 4-run deficit?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's just take it runner by runner. Take the take each at bat, for what it is, and don't try to do too much at the plate. Just chip away.
Thank you so much, Skip. It's been 2 high-quality baseball games played by your team. We appreciate you having us on.
Awesome. Thank you.
So thankful that we get Skipper Rapay on there for us. His team trying to battle back in this one. Leadoff walk was given up by Sam Lavin. And a strike is in there on Bradley Pell to make it a 3-1 count and avoid back-to-back walks.
Kind of the complimentary 3-0 strike there. You'd mentioned all the walks there for Lavin, and he kind of mentioned one of Lavin's strengths is just battling, just competing. Guy normally has pretty good control, but just hasn't had it here tonight.
And manager Sean Rapay was exactly right. Lavin only had 6 walks coming into this game.
Even last year with Great Falls in 64 innings, only walked 26. So normally pretty good control, as he'd mentioned, kind of an out-of-body experience.
Runner goes on the 3-2. This one is lightly tapped over to the second baseman, and that'll get the first out of the inning. But the good jump off of first base by Cole Jordan of the 3-2 count allowed them not to turn 2.
It looked like Jordan was taken off on the pitch there. It was really only one play, and that was to first base. Jordan was almost at second base by the time the ball got towards Ponce, the second baseman.
So now 1 out with Cole Jordan on second for Sebastian Greco. He's 0 for 1 on the night. He did walk in the first inning and then struck out most recently in the second. First pitch to him is swung on and missed. Greco has a bit of a memorable tendency to any strike or any ball, really any pitch that comes past him, he kind of nods at it, just acknowledging what he just saw, taking in information. 25-year-old who spent a lot of time playing professional baseball. Swings and misses on the second pitch of the at-bat, and it's 0-2.
The ones he likes acknowledging are the ones that go about 450 feet over the wall. And he's got that type of power, especially towards center field. We saw him a couple times last year hit it over the center field wall.
Next pitch is in the dirt. Cole Jordan will take third, and the tag is not in time. It was a great throw after a sliding block by Barranca behind home plate, and the tag was narrowly missed by Cole Jordan. It was all around a good defensive play from Swenda and Barranca. Ultimately, just Jordan had good reaction time and a good jump.
Well, if Jordan had hesitated at all, he would have been out at third base. But unlike the last half inning when Swenda didn't take third base on a ball in the dirt, Jordan was very quick to react and was able to get to third base because of his quick jump.
Big swing and a miss for another strikeout by Greco. That's his second of the night. And we'll bring up Gio Ferraro with 2 outs. Tomorrow night here at Lindquist Field is Weber State night. They have bought out the entire ballpark, and there's still a few seats remaining. They are free, courtesy of Weber State. So if you're looking for a fun way to spend your Friday night, come over and hang out. And after the ball game will be a drone show and then musical stylings of Take Two playing the Beach Club. A lot of exciting things to stick around for as strike one sails past Gio Ferraro.
Well, I'm going to have to take advantage of that tomorrow. That's a great offer.
Shout out Weber State. You can even wear your purple. The ball gets past the outstretched glove of Barranca. Coming home to score is Cole Jordan. And he'll score on a wild pitch to make it a 6-1 ball game. Cole Jordan singled and just methodically made his way around the bases to ultimately come in to score. He stole third and home.
And that great jump to get to third base is why he was able to score on the wild pitch. And so you can't underestimate the aggressive base running paying off for the Raptors here in the fourth.
Those were steals 39 and 40 on the year for the Raptors. I guess you can't count the most so 39, as 40 would have been a pass ball.
That aggressive base running, that's certainly paid dividends for the Raptors this year.
1-2 to Ferraro, fouls it off out of play to keep fighting in his at-bat.
I know the Raptors were a very aggressive base running team last season, and it's not necessarily a club that's going to hit a ton of home runs. It's kind of a gap-to-gap type of team, hit a lot of doubles, go first to third a lot. And when you get those opportunities to get the extra base like Jordan did getting to third, they take them and they do a great job with it.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed. That'll be strikeout number 4 on the day, the second of the inning, back-to-back to end off the fourth. But the Raptors tag on one more to make it a 6-1 lead heading into the top of the fifth inning here on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
I had a couple of friends that had come here, and they said that the education from the instructors was just really great. It was kind of between Davis Tech and here, and I decided to pick here because of the instructors. I've always loved hair, nail, and skin and all of those things, so I just thought it was a perfect career opportunity to be able to make my own schedule and do what I love. I really love doing men's haircuts, so that's probably my favorite. That, and then just coloring's fun because you get to experiment and kind of create new things, which is always fun. It's fun because they're like our instructors and they teach us lots, but they've always become like our friends, and they're always like motivating us to do new things and challenging us and like really care about us individually and like what's going on in our lives at home, what's going on in our life at school, and they're just very compassionate towards us. I would say 100% do it, even if you're kind of on the edge, because you meet a lot of new friends, you make great relationships, and then it's just fun. You learn a lot of like life skills as well, which is great, but it's just overall a great program. I'm Callie Rasmussen, and I'm a cosmetology student here at OTEC.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back here at Lindquist Field in Ogden, Utah. The Raptors lead at 6-1. They've got 5 hits compared to the Voyagers 2. No errors on either side. Both starting pitchers still going to work here in the 5th inning. Top of the 5th, Chase Chapman begins his work. First pitch, a little bit too high to Vincent Temesvari.
I love seeing that colorful new scoreboard here at Lindquist Field. Certainly a great addition here to 2026.
Next pitch too low. And if you want to come see that scoreboard yourself, tickets are on sale now by calling 801-393-2450 or at ogden-raptors.com, or simply stop by the Lindquist Field box office in person at 23rd and Lincoln. The Raptors are the 9th highest attended sports team in Utah, including the colleges, and they are the #1 attended venue in North Salt Lake. Chapman's next pitch misses, and it's 3-0 quickly to Temesvari. Temesvari has struck out once so far tonight. He tips the 3-0-1 foul. Would have been a strike either way.
What Raptors fans like most about that scoreboard is the way it looks right now with a 6-1 lead. And it's been very productive for the Raptors. 6 runs on only 5 hits. They've had a few base runners, and I think that Raptors fans were a little bit worried when they left the bases loaded in the first inning and left 2 in the third. So they've left 5 runners through the first 4 innings. But capitalizing there on that great base running play by Cole Jordan in the bottom of the 4th inning. Getting to third, the ball didn't get away from the catcher all that much, but Jordan aggressively getting to third and then scoring on the wild pitch.
The full count offering is right into the glove of that's Tyler Gannis over there at first base off of 1 hop. It's been Gio Ferraro throughout most of the season, but Tyler Gannis catches the 1 hop and takes it to first himself unassisted.
Boy, and that was a great play by Gannis. Kind of a short hop, sun a little bit in his eyes, and he was able to snag it easily. Gannis, not a whole lot of experience at first base, but he looked like he'd been playing first base for 15 years with that play.
And that out has to feel good if you're Chapman after he went behind 3-0 in that at-bat. Worked his way back into it and ultimately got the out. In this one against Willie Ponce, getting ahead quickly, 0-1. Chapman with the mound all the way in the sun. This one is swung on into shallow right field. Going back on it is Cole Jordan, retreating from second base. And he'll catch that on the run for the second out of the inning.
Well, I've seen a few of those pop-ups here so far tonight, and Jordan had to battle the sun a little bit, but was able to make the play. For Chapman, 2 up and 2 down, and he's only allowed the 2 hits through the first 4 2/3 innings here, as he looks like he's in vintage form, about as good as he has looked in a Raptors uniform in the last year and a half.
Back to the top of the lineup in Aiden Redahan. Redahan bats .444 on the year. However, he's 0 for 2 tonight. .444 entering into this game. The 0-1 to him, misses too low and in the dirt. Redahan leads the team in hits at 28, as well as doubles at 9. He's knocked in 13 RBIs to go along with all of that. The 1-1 is a check swing. He did not go around, says our third base umpire, Dylan Collins.
Well, Redahan's done a great job of this season, consistently making contact. He's only struck out twice in 65 at-bats.
And that is what you call plate discipline. That is a huge skill, hard to be taught. Big cut on the 2-1, doesn't connect. He'll call time and collect himself.
Well, he doesn't chase too many pitches out of the zone, but that was high and out of the zone, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Chapman. That's about as hard as he has thrown all night. Well, and Chapman would love another 1-2-3 inning here.
It is deuces, as the in-park announcer says. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. Only strikeout number 3 on the year for Redahan, but that's the 4th of the game for Chase Chapman. He goes 1-2-3 for the second time tonight. And the Raptors lead at 6-1 as we enter into the bottom of the 5th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Whatever you do, don't drop the ball at the Raptors Stadium. And we don't want to let you drop the ball for your insurance. We want to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the best price. Here at the Insurance Center, we're going to take care of you. We've had a great relationship with the Raptors, and we want to have a great relationship with you. Your auto, your home, your life, your health, your business. We have experts that are there to take care of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We are your trusted choice insurance agency here locally. We are the only best practice insurance agency north of Salt Lake. Realize that we're going to take the best care of you. Give us a call, 801-622-2626. Look us up online, www.insurancecenterut.com. We're here to take care of you and hit the ball out of the park.
Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's future with life and financial services and everything in between. Give Tara a call at 801-606-4547 or email her at tara@allstate.com for a free quote. You can even stop by her office on the corner of 20th and Washington. And remember, you're always in good hands with Allstate.
This is Emmy with the Ogden Raptors, and now back for more baseball.
Welcome back. Here, Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. And we are joined by a fan for our fan interview. Sue Carver is on the mic for us. Sue, can you hear us?
I can.
Sue, thanks so much for joining us. How long have you been a Raptors fan?
Oh, geez, years. Back when they were playing back by Fort Benaventura.
So then you have to be pretty pleased with these upgrades. What's been your favorite part of the new stadium and field?
Oh, the scoreboard.
It's a nice one.
It is. I love seeing the information up there and being able to see the score.
What's been your favorite memory as a Raptors fan?
My favorite memory. I remember going to some of those old games back at Fort Benaventura before they made all of these new rules, and they would play overtime after overtime, and we would be there until midnight sometimes with the overtimes.
Have you gotten to witness a knockout round yet?
Yes, I have.
And what do you think of that new addition? It's a little bit quicker than the overtimes.
Yeah, it's quicker. It makes it go fast. It was different. We're having a hard time getting used to that because we were used to all the overtimes.
It's definitely a change. Anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go?
To say hi to, I don't even know who I would know that would be watching it.
Then we'll stick with just a hello to Raptor Nation. How about that?
Yes, yes. Hello to everybody that is watching it. It's my favorite sport. Always has been.
Love to hear it. Thanks so much for joining us, Sue. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
And obviously also a big hello to any of the Voyager fans who are watching as well. We had one watching who texted in on our text line. Wendy Dick said, Voyager fan here and host mom watching from Great Falls. Another incredible part about the Pioneer League is Garrett Vivacqua gets on with the hard hit ball into right field, as many of these players stay with host families. And here in Ogden, they do so as well. They really make this whole league work. They're kind of the unsung heroes. So Wendy Dick and everyone else, we really appreciate you.
In some cases, you make lifelong friends.
1-0 count to Colson Lawrence as it's Garrett Vivacqua on first. He tips this one back into the padded wall behind home plate.
Well, all the memories flooding in for Sue. She couldn't think of one particular because, well, she's probably been to games for who knows how long.
Just had too many to pick from. 1-1 to Lawrence. He holds back on it. The pickoff throw back to first base from Barranca is not in time, and Vivacqua still stands out there on first.
It's got right-handers starting to loosen up for Great Falls. I think it's number 28.
And we saw him just yesterday, I believe. It was Jacob Bell. Yes, he did come into yesterday's game as Colson Lawrence fouls off the 2-1.
All right, we'll see if Bavakwa gets aggressive. He's got a good lead at first.
The 2-2 here to Lawrence. Swing and a miss, and another strikeout on the night for Sam Lavin. Strikeout number 5 so far for him.
Well, for Lavin, it's a lot of walks and a lot of strikeouts. And as you had talked with the manager in the last inning, Sean Rapay, this isn't like Lavin to have the control issues. He's just kind of battling and competing, and he's doing what he can to try to keep the Voyagers in the game.
First pitch to Wilkinson, misses too high. Wilkinson has reached base his last 2 times up, his only 2 times in the game. He played in 4 games in the Idaho Falls Chuckers series, although 3 of them he did not start in. The 1-0 misses too high as well. In that series, he went 2 for 5. Did not work any RBIs, did manage 4 walks, struck out twice, and scored himself 4 times. Gets ahead in this count, 3-0. He's already scored once in this game. He tripled and then went on to score after Tyler Gannis hit the line drive single right back up towards Lavin.
Then he walked in the 3rd inning, so he's reached base twice.
The 3-0 to him. Just catches the top part of the zone for strike 1.
Well, you'd mentioned that Idaho Falls series. That was exactly what the Raptors needed. And really that 17-run output on May 31st kind of jump-started a lot of things to where the Raptors have been absolutely outstanding offensively over the last 9 games.
The 3-1 also works in there for a called strike, so the count is now full.
Boy, Wilkinson thought about a challenge there, but decided against it. If he would have challenged, I think he would have had a chance at it. In fact, just talking about how well the Raptors have been offensively, they have scored 13 or more runs in 7 of their last 9 games, and they put together football-type scores.
Full count, the runner goes. Doesn't matter as that one missed outside and high, so Dylan Wilkinson will trot down to first base, and Bavakwa put in some running effort that he ultimately didn't need to do.
Right, Bavakwa was probably hoping for a stolen base there or something to that effect, but that one looked like it slipped out of Lavin's hand a little bit, and it just was nowhere near the plate.
Walk number 7 on the night, so Lavin has had more walks tonight than he had in all of his games coming into this.
Well, it looks like a violation. It looks like it's on Gannis. And if this is anything like affiliated ball, I guess he didn't look up and acknowledge the pitcher in time. So the count's 0-1.
0-1 count, 1 out, runners on first and second. Next pitch misses outside for a ball. The pitcher is challenging.
Well, normally you see the catcher challenge, kind of a rare challenge by the pitcher, Lavin.
Red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. It was called a ball. And the call will be confirmed as a ball. So the Great Falls Voyagers have no more red pocket challenges left. 1-1 count now to Tyler Gannis. That one misses outside as well. And Gannis has worked his way back to 1. Lavin yet to throw a strike in this at-bat, as the 1 strike did come from the the time violation from Gannis. Bavakwa has a healthy lead off of second. The 2-1 is hit into opposite field, right field, going back to the wall at the warning track and making a leaping grab is Tommy Specht. The runners will all retreat 90 feet to their bases. And ultimately, Bavakwa had to slide back into second base, but everyone is safe. And a great defensive play. Tommy Specht got on his horse, leapt up in the warning track, and caught the ball just shy of the wall. He actually went careening into it as his momentum carried him.
A tough play by Specht, especially since he had to battle the sun there. Bavakwa, I think, was kind of betting that Specht wouldn't get to it, and he was at third base and had to hustle to get his way back to second. But a pretty good play by Tommy Specht, who looks like he's got pretty good size, but he moves around well as well.
Chase Valentine will dig in now. He is 1 for 2 on his night. He walked and scored in the first inning, doubled and scored in the second inning, and then flew out in the third.
He's also stolen 2 bases.
First pitch from Lavin misses. He goes and checks Bavakwa on second. Valentine gets under this one. It's skied up the right field line. Foul and out of play. Valentine spent time in the Padres organization. Quite a few members of many Pioneer League teams have spent time in the big league organizations. And then some are also spending time in them now, most notably for recent Ogden Raptors fans, Chris Sargent Jr., the catcher from last year. The 1-1. Valentine checks his swing. The ball misses high, and it's 2-1.
Oh, good check by Valentine. Another strong fastball from Lavin. That was at 92 miles an hour. But I got to imagine with Bell warming up in the bullpen that this might be the last inning for him.
Valentine leads the team in hits, trying to add another one. A big cut on 2-1, doesn't connect. Makes it 2-2. Valentine also leads the team in extra base hits. He's got 19. 13 of them are doubles. Actually make that 20 as he did add another double just tonight. The 2-2 misses too high, and we've got a full count on our hands once again.
Well, the runners are going to be taking off for sure, and if you're Valentine, well, you got to be disciplined. If Lavin's going to throw one out of the zone, you can't chase it. I think if he's going to give you a walk, you got to take it in this situation.
The full count is fouled back. The runners obviously were taking off, full count and 2 outs, but they'll have to retreat because of the foul ball. Really the only thing in that scenario that would have caused the runners to retreat. Only outcome. Valentine digs in, right foot, just about 6 inches from the line of the batter's box. Slightly open stance, 3-2 count. And the ball misses too low, and it's a walk.
Good eye by Valentine. It looked like the second baseman, Ponce, was playing pretty close towards the second base bag. Valentine had plenty of room between the first and second baseman. That was an off-speed pitch by Lavin, and it just missed the zone. It looks like it might be all as Sean Rapé is coming out towards the mound, and he's coming with a little bit of a trot, so I'm not sure if Bell's going to enter the game or if it's just going to be a conversation to try to settle down Lavin here with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
You don't often see manager Rapé come out to talk. It has largely been the pitching coach that we talked about earlier. Chuck Shirley is often the man that comes out to the mound, but this time it is Sean Rapé having a chat. It could be one that he's going to have a long chat, walk back, they're going to call time and bring Jacob Bell in. But at the same time, Jacob Bell is not getting any more extra reps in the bullpen. I'd expect that if you're trying to buy time, he'd be using them to throw.
So it looks like they're going to stay with Lavin here with the bases loaded. It looked like most of the conversation, Rapé was talking towards the catcher more than Lavin or any of the infielders. So this is an interesting one. They're keeping Lavin in with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and one of Ogden's best RBI men at the plate in Cole Jordan.
Jordan, first pitch swinging, it's pulled into deep left field. Does it have the legs to be a grand slam? And it does! A Cole Jordan grand slam in the bottom of the 5th gives the Raptors a 10-1 lead.
Boy, and the crowd goes wild here at Lindquist Field, 362 feet. And that was a breaking ball, and that got plenty of the plate. 76 miles an hour off the hand of Lavin. And now Rapé is going to come out, and it's going to be a pitching change as, well, that's a tough one for Lavin as he gave up the grand slam. First pitch off speed, and Cole Jordan timed it, got something down the middle of the plate. And that pretty much puts this one out of reach with the Raptors getting a huge grand slam for Cole Jordan, who now has 6 RBIs on the night.
Can't really say that anything is out of reach, though, because this is a Voyagers team who scored 10 in 1 inning.
It is still the Pioneer League.
And then you have the Raptors, who overcame a 14-2 deficit earlier this season against the Boise Hawks. So Lavin will make his way back into the dugout, and it will be Jacob Bell coming in. Bell pitched just last night against the Oh, excuse me, 2 nights ago. Game 1. They're all melding together. He pitched in the Game 1 victory, the 22-13 win. He went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 4 runs. 3 of those runs were earned. He gave up 5 walks with just 1 strikeout and 15 batters faced. So that's going to be an area of interest and an area of focus for the Voyagers. They can't give up any more free passes. They've already given up 7 tonight. That was Lavin's most of the season. He doubled his season total and then won.
And for the Raptors, you talk about coming through with runners in scoring position. For Cole Jordan, he got that grand slam, and that is his 6th home run of the season. You kind of were a little bit worried if you're a Raptors fan, leaving the bases loaded in the first inning, leaving 2 on base in the 3rd. Great opportunity for Cole Jordan, and that's why he's wearing the captain's C. Him and Carmine Lane, the co-captains of the Raptors, and Cole Jordan got that off-speed pitch. First pitch, he's normally a guy that likes to hunt the fastballs early in counts, and he didn't miss it.
Take Me Home, Country Roads plays throughout Lindquist Field. Everyone throughout the field enjoying their half-off Pepsi drinks. And also here in Lindquist Field, there is a Lucky Slice pizza vendor that you have to go check out. It's directly outside of the gate that goes into our broadcast booth, and it's dangerous for me. I will say it's dangerous. Checking out our text line, we have Vic from Abington, Pennsylvania. She said it's a great broadcast. Looks like an awesome stadium, especially in the center field view. I could not agree more. And also, her son is a pitcher on Great Falls. So she says, go Voyagers. Vic, if you're still listening, let us know which player your son is. That text line 385-240-1121. You can see that top left side of your screen if you're watching on Home Team Live. And Jacob Bell ready to get going for his 2nd outing against the Raptors. His first at-bat will be against Bradley Pell, the hero of last night who hit the walk-off. First pitch grabs the bottom side of the zone for strike 1.
Well, if you being from Seattle, the most famous Grand Slam broadcast call is probably Dave Niehaus. That was a grand salami by Cole Jordan.
This one is hit hard. It's pulled into right field. That'll go down as a base hit, maybe more. Pell will round first and make his way off to second as it bounces off the wall. And Pell with a great snag of his helmet as he makes his way to second. For those of you not watching, as Bell was about 10 feet away from second base, his helmet popped off his head. He put both of his hands behind his back and grabbed his helmet as it was falling and was safe at the base.
We caught about the tail end of that catch on the replay there on Home Team Network, and that's probably the catch of the day. We've seen some good defensive plays here so far, but that's got to be the best one there with Bradley Pell making the catch of the day.
I think I'm still giving Tommy Specht this catch of the day on the run in right field. But if the Raptors win, it has to go to a Raptors player, so I'm giving it, I would agree that it's Pell. First pitch to Sebastian Greco, misses too low and away.
But the player of the game's got to be Cole Jordan with the 6 RBIs, and he made a really nice defensive play on a hard hit ball going ranging towards his left earlier in the game.
So it's 10-1 with the Raptors leading, 2 outs. Runner on second is Bradley Pell. 2-0 count to Sebastian Greco. Coming into this game, Jordan had not had an RBI in 3 games. He had only had 1 in the last 5. Greco, big swing on the 2-0, does not make contact. It's hard to say that Jordan was in a slump because he was still batting .349. He just wasn't being the Cole Jordan that the Raptors had come to know and love. But I would say this game with 6 RBIs, he's gotten used to it. Greco turns on this one. It has more than enough distance, but it tails foul. That one put the kids out there on the playground in danger in right field.
That was 375 feet. That's that natural power that I was talking about earlier in the game. Ball just jumps off his bat. Guy that will swing and miss every now and then, but Greco's a guy that, when he gets a hold of one, he can hit one towards the temple and towards the mountains and all of those.
This one goes the opposite direction, foul out of play. You'd mentioned great turnout here for fans. Got fans going all the way from left field over into the equal with first base area, rounding the entire infield. 2-2 with 2 outs, works inside on Greco. Good snag from Barranca as he went cross body to catch that one.
Great crowd tonight. Looking for some big crowds both on Friday and Saturday nights. And remember, every Sunday, it's Free Food Sunday here at Lindquist Field.
And tomorrow night with the 3-2 pitch coming to Greco, it's Weber State night. So come enjoy that one. Swing and a miss for Greco. That's his third strikeout of the night. First of the game for Jacob Bell, but the Raptors tick on 4 more to their total off the bat of Cole Jordan. A grand slam in the bottom of the 5th puts the Raptors up 10-1. We'll head into the top of the 6th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
I had a couple of friends that have come here and they said that the education from the instructors was just really great. It was kind of between Davis Tech and here, and I decided to pick here because of the instructors. I've always loved hair, nail, and skin and all of those things, so I just thought it was a perfect career opportunity to be able to make my own schedule and do what I love. I really love doing men's haircuts, so that's probably my favorite. That and then just coloring's fun because you get to experiment and kind of create new things, which is always fun. It's fun because they're like our instructors and they teach us lots, but they've always become like our friends, and they're always like motivating us to do new things and challenging us and like really care about us individually and like what's going on in our lives at home, what's going on in our life at school, and they're just very compassionate towards us. I would say 100% do it, even if you're kind of on the edge, because you meet a lot of new friends, you make great relationships, and then it's just fun. You learn a lot of like life skills as well, which is great, but it's just overall a great program. I'm Callie Rasmussen, and I'm a cosmetology student here at OTEC.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
This is Emmy with the Ogden Raptors, and now back for more baseball.
Welcome back, top of the 6th inning. 4 more innings here to play as the Raptors lead it 10-1. The highlight of the night so far has been the Cole Jordan grand slam. And it is still Chase Chapman going to work in his 6th inning of work now.
Well, a lot of great stories tonight. Chase Chapman certainly one of them, only allowing 1 run on 2 hits. Both of the Great Falls hits have been by the bat of Trey Cruz. And Chapman has really done a great job finding the strike zone on a consistent basis, and he's looked about as good as he looked at any point in his really outstanding 2025 year where he went 8-3.
Next pitch works in there for a called strike, so it's 2-0. Next offering from Chapman is pulled. Goes off Valentine's glove at shortstop, and it'll just dink into center field. Thinking about running to second, but then holding back is Schmack, and that is the first hit of anyone besides Trey Cruz for the Voyagers in this ballgame.
Well, Valentine had to range far to his left and looked like he had a chance at it, and he was pretty upset at himself they couldn't glove it. He did have to range far to his left for it, and so it's going to be the 3rd hit of the evening for the Voyagers.
Next up is Tommy Specht, who is still searching for his first hit in this series.
Specht, kind of a wiry-looking athlete, 6 feet, 200 pounds. Good range in right field. Having a 2nd solid season with the Voyagers.
This one is hit to Cole Jordan. They'll turn one over by Chase Valentine at second. A line drive throw gets the 2nd out over at first. A very well executed double play.
Well, I've seen quite a few high hops towards the second baseman. That was a nice Sunday hop for Jordan. Got it to second for Valentine. Quick turn to first. It was a close play. And it needed to be a quick turn by Valentine, the shortstop, because of the speed of Specht. So a nicely turned 4-6-3 double play by the Raptors here in the 6th.
First pitch swinging. This one is a high flying ball into the shallow right field area. Cole Jordan settles himself under it. And he'll make the next out of the inning for the final out of the inning. And it's 1-2-3. In the 6th. We'll go into the bottom of the 6th with the Raptors leading at 10-1 on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in commercial construction. Hundreds of projects throughout the Intermountain West attest to Kier's wide range of expertise in design and build. Kier Construction invites you to experience the difference. Call us at 801-627-1414.
From providing a great member experience to providing easy access to your accounts with our mobile app, we are here to help you along your journey. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, and it is Arden Locke. We're going to be joined by Joe Traub for a few innings. Joe, you worked here with the Ogden Raptors a while ago, is that right?
I did. And let me just say, first of all, thank you for having me here.
We're
Great
glad
game
to
we
have
got
you.
going on. Raptors up 10-1 over Great Falls, but just so nostalgic, you know, walking in today, seeing everyone, all the people that I got to work with for so long, just all the great memories being back. Just can't beat a summer night here at the ballpark.
No, there's nothing better. Tonight, even better than last night, is there is really no wind.
That's always a good thing.
Which was a major plus. But you still worked here when they were affiliated with the Dodgers, correct?
I did, correct. 2016 through 19. So the last 4 years that Pioneer League was affiliated.
So what did that crossover look like when a team goes from being affiliated to one team with now being just a partnership league with the whole MLB?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors. There's pros and cons for sure. It's definitely complicated. Because, of course, you had the Dodgers here. The Dodgers just had a rich history in Ogden. I mean, dating back to the 1960s, guys like baseball legends Tommy Lasorda managed here back in the 60s. Ricky Henderson played here with the Ogden A's. And it's just the history, the richness. I mean, even when the Dodgers left and the Brewers came in for a while and then the Dodgers came back, there are so many great players that have played for the Raptors that, you know, have ended up doing big things for the Dodgers. Even in their latest great run of dominance, you got Corey Seager, Will Smith, Ross Stripling, names Andy Pajes, of course, became a legend last year that'll live on forever for the Dodgers. I mean, everyone's got to get their start somewhere, right? And those guys happen to start here in Ogden, Utah. And now, that doesn't necessarily take away from it.
Ferraro grounds this one. It'll be handled by shortstop Cruz, and he'll give it off to Redden over at first for the first out of the inning.
But it's different because in this partner league and being an independent league, you got guys who maybe started out with another big league organization, but they got released or traded and they're struggling to catch on, but they don't want to give up their dreams of playing professional baseball. So, you know, they sign and they're like, okay, maybe I'll put up good numbers here. Of course, this is one of the best hitters parks in the country. A lot of guys can do damage here and maybe get signed. But hey, I mean, even if, maybe some guys know the writing's on the wall. They're not going to be playing too much longer, but you just hang on to that dream for as long as possible. So it's a really interesting mix of guys they have down here.
It's been cool to see people in all of their different routes as they make their way over here. There's, you know, some kids who are fresh out of college. When it comes to Caleb Bunch, that was his first professional start yesterday, just coming from Baylor. And then you have other people like Sebastian Greco, who played for the Raptors last year, went away, have come back. You have the Chase Valentines, who have spent time, you know, with the Padres, and then they come back here. It's a lot of different routes. As Bavacqua fouls the first two off to make it 0-2. Also, a correction on the pitcher. It's Raymond Ochoa. He was also the one who was in last inning, wearing a jersey that's not on the roster, so it took a little scrambling, but we have great statisticians here with us. As this one is golfed into opposite field, Apo Taco for Garrett Bavacqua, and he'll round first and make his way over to second. The ball gets thrown into the infield, but not in time as Bavacqua's foot slides off the second base bag as he had a little bit too much momentum, but he just shuffles his way back to be safe on second for a stand-up double with 1 out in this inning.
But still, affiliated or not, baseball is baseball. You got people coming to the ballpark. You got a great crowd here on a Thursday night. No clouds in the sky, about 65 degrees. It's just perfect. What could be better? Fans are loving it tonight.
And I've been impressed by just the longevity of these fans. I mean, we
Absolutely.
interview a fan every day in the middle of the 5th inning, and all of them have been fans for a minimum of 7 years. It's amazing.
My gosh. I mean, I've lost count. How many years leading the Pioneer League in attendance? Going on about 3 decades now. I mean, the fans have just come out here ever since this ballpark opened back in 1997.
First pitch to a pinch hitter, Efren Monzo. Monzo comes in to pinch hit for Colson Lawrence. This is his first action in quite a few games. Is it odd to come back and not recognize very many of the players?
Absolutely. It's a little strange for sure.
Monzo flies out to Cruz over there at shortstop, just in the shallow left field area, just about 3 steps beyond the grass.
But hey, watching the game in the stands, you pick up on things quickly, and Chapman's just throwing a heck of a game. He came in, he'd been roughed up in his last couple outings, but just dominating the Voyagers tonight. And, of course, Chase Valentine, a couple nice hits. Cole Jordan. It's a good, really good 1 through 9 in the Raptors lineup, it seems like.
Yeah, you got to witness a grand slam, so you can never complain about that.
Absolutely. First one here for I've seen in minimum 7 years.
Yeah, Cole Jordan had one. Efren Monzo, not Efren, Gio Ferraro knocked one in the last game of the Paddlehead series when they were at home here. But they've had a grand slam in 1 of their 3 home wins, hopefully now 2 of 4 if they go on to win this one.
They put a pretty good hurting on Idaho Falls up north last week. 92
wins,
runs
yeah.
in 6 games. The offense was just clicking all week.
Tried to kind of carry it back here. It stalled just slightly, although they still scored 13 runs in the game they lost as the next pitch goes in for a ball against Wilkinson. It was just they got overpowered by the 22.
I think I saw that. They had 13 hits and 13 walks and still lost by 9.
And 13 walks was the most walks that they had been issued by 2 all season. Just weren't able to take full advantage of it.
Had to be a long night at the ballpark. How long was that game?
I think our official clock was 4 hours and 4 minutes.
Oh, boy.
I'm getting nods from everyone in here. But yesterday we were done at about 9:15, so that one was a lot quicker.
Heard about that. And then a walk-off win.
Next pitch absolutely
Ouch.
pegs Dylan Wilkinson. He's playing catcher tonight, so he has that catcher strength, that catcher toughness. He'll trot down to first base on the free pass. The hit-by pitches are walks that you really feel like you earned, huh?
Exactly, especially when you have to grind it on a bat. Love the powder blues the Raptors are wearing tonight. They actually remember when they debuted these. It was back in 2019. Just a fabulous look.
Have you gone to see a Fry Sauce game yet, or at least see the looks of those jerseys?
I have not, but I've heard about it. I'm hoping there's a game this weekend.
Saturday, every Saturday, the Utah
Sweet.
Fry Sauce.
I will be here.
That'll be exciting. First pitch to Tyler Gannis, misses too low in the dirt for a ball.
Fry Sauce versus Voyagers. What a matchup. Sounds like a galaxy far away, something like that.
Big cut by Tyler Gannis on the 1-0. Does not connect to make it 1-1. So what got you interested in baseball to get involved with Ogden and everything like that?
I mean, I've always loved it, always been a big sports fan ever since birth, basically, just a bit after that. But 2015, that's when I came up here. I moved up here because I attended Weber State for college.
Well, speaking of Weber, it's Weber State night tomorrow night.
It is. It just happens. A very proud alum happens to be in town for that.
That's
Looking forward to it a lot. But yeah, I came up, finished my freshman year, was looking for something to do in the summer, get a job. Wasn't sure, but then I was, oh yeah, the Raptors don't start until June. That could be perfect. And the rest was history. 4 just unforgettable summers, countless amazing memories had here.
I've been here now for 2 homestands, the new broadcaster, and can tell that it's a special place to be. I'm very grateful to be part of all of it.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it. 2-2 to Tyler Gannis as he's battled back slightly in this one. That one misses outside from Ochoa, and it's a full count with 2 outs. Devakwa stands out on second. Barranca from behind the plate motioning to his defensive ranks. Gannis, a pretty squatty batting stance. This one is hit right back up the middle, out of the glove of Ochoa. He gloved it, and then it came out. and ultimately no play is able to be made. That almost looked like it went through his glove.
It did. Yeah, it looked like he was going to snag it and then throw to first for the out, and then it's like, oh, where's the ball? Yeah, right through it. I think you're right.
Ochoa looked at his glove as if it was broken, and usually I think that that's an excuse, but in his defense that time, it kind of looked like it went directly through.
It did. Now Chase Valentine at the dish, a chance for another grand slam for Ogden.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. It was the exact same situation that Cole Jordan hit his grand slam in. Chase Valentine is 1 for 2 on the night with a double, has also walked twice. So it is Giannis on first, Wilkinson on second, and Bavacqua on third.
They overturned the pitch to a ball. Valentine challenged, and so it's 1-0.
That's the third successful challenge of the night for the Raptors.
Yeah, they're on fire with that tonight.
They still have 2 of them on the other end. The Voyagers have none. Ochoa's 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air. This one doesn't have the legs to get out, but maybe it'll get out of play out of foul territory, and it's not. Caught in play by Tommy Speck for the third out of the inning. And the Raptors leave the bases loaded for the second time tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. It was so good to have you on, and we'll be back for the bottom of the 6th inning, top of the 7th, after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
From providing a great member experience to providing easy access to your accounts with our mobile app, we are here to help you along your journey. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke. And we are still joined by Joe Trobe. Say that right?
Trob.
Trob. I was so close. I got it right the first time.
I'll give it to you.
And then we waited too long. But you were here when the Raptors earned their first Pioneer League championship. Is that correct?
I did, and that's why this matchup is still very special to me, even though obviously both teams were affiliated then, and they're not now. It was Ogden versus Great Falls in 2017 when the Raptors were finally able to get that last piece of the puzzle.
What do you remember about that game?
I mean, it was so much led up to it. The Raptors, like we mentioned, forever leading the league in attendance, great fans, great promotions. They've had so many great players come through. But the one thing that had eluded them was a championship. Just knew it every year, never failed. You get to the playoffs and then heartbreak after heartbreak, and it would just get worse and worse and just more soul-crushing each and every year. 2016, the season ended in the worst way possible in the first round of the playoffs.
That first round exit always hurts. The 2-1 to Swenda is hit hard into deep right field. If it stays fair, it might be gone. And our first base umpire is saying it's foul.
We're playing the Orem Owls back when they were in the Pioneer League. Best of 3 series. It was tied at 1. Game 3 is at Orem. Raptors are up by 1 in the bottom of the 11th. 2 outs. Owls have runners at first and second. Fly ball to left center field. Gets lost in the sun between our left fielder and center fielder, who were the 2 best players on that team, Mitchell Hansen and DJ Peters. Gets to the wall. Orem walks off. I mean, just absolutely crushing. I'll still never forget it.
When you can recite a loss that clearly, you know it just still sticks with you.
I'll never get past it. I will never forget it. But then that's what happened. Why the next year felt so much sweeter.
Swenda hits this one hard into center field. Lawrence going over to his left on it, and he'll make the catch on the run. That's Bradley Pell actually rotating into center field. So I believe that there's been some substitution. Let's take a look. Bradley Pell is now in center field. Colson Lawrence got pinch hit for Efren Monzo. So we have Efren Monzo at first base now, Tyler Gannis in left field, and Bradley Pell is in center.
So back to 2017. As typical, the Raptors have a great regular season led by Mark Kurtanian, who was the manager of that club. Great guy. Still friends with him to this day. We get into the playoffs and get revenge, beat Orem in the first round. So back in the championship series.
This one is hit hard by Cruz. It bounces once by Pell and hits the wall. Cruz will extend over to second. The throw in on one hop is not in time. It's actually picked off by Cole Jordan. And a stand-up double for Trey Cruz with one out. That's his third hit of the game.
So the championship series, 2017, it's a best of three. Raptors are playing Great Falls, who was a really good team that year. We had similar records. They were neck and neck, played each other tight during the regular season, so we knew it was going to be a tough matchup. And the weather played a huge, huge factor in that series, more than we would have wanted it to.
Cold weather, warm weather, what are we talking?
Well, it's mid-September, so this time, you can have a hot summer, but when you get to mid-September, things can be very unpredictable. The way it lined up that year, Great Falls had home field advantage, so we had Game 1 here at Lindquist, and Games 2 and 3 were up at Centene Stadium.
1-0 to Barranca, misses outside.
Game 1, there was about a 2-hour rain delay before we even got started here in Ogden. It was cold, it was chilly, but the fans who came out, they were determined and cheered their Raptors on to victory. So we go up to Montana, needing just one win to claim the team's first Pioneer League championship.
2-0, catches the top part of the zone for a strike.
It's September 15th. The guys are going up to Montana in the bus, and it's snowing. Not just flurrying, but absolutely coming down. It's freezing, it's snowing. And for a lot of the players, especially some from other countries, like places in South America, Venezuela, such and such, it's the first time they ever saw snow.
That one is lined past the diving shortstop Chase Valentine. Runners will only advance 90 feet, so now it'll be Trey Cruz on third and Antonio Barranca with that single on first. Runners on the corners with one out as the Voyagers try to cut into the 9-run deficit they face right now.
So the guys stop in the middle of boondocks, middle of nowhere, Montana, at their res stop or whatever, gas station, and the guys start having a snowball fight in the parking lot. It's just amazing. Who would think that in mid-September, but just truly magical. And then when we finally get to Great Falls.
A mound meeting, so perfect time for the continued story.
Absolutely. Thank you, Evan Parker. The field's saturated. They can't play. They had no tarp there at Centene Stadium. So we were supposed to play Game 2 on Saturday and Game 3 of that series on Sunday if necessary. Game 2 was postponed. I mean, can't remember if it was snowing at that time or not, but the field was unplayable. So the way they set it up, it was going to be both Games 2 and 3 played on the same day if necessary. So if the Raptors won the first game of the day, it would be over and they'd be champions. But when they finally got the field ready and able to play, I mean, still to this day, I don't know how the Great Falls grounds crew did it. They worked their tails off for about 24 hours getting that field in playable condition. So we start at 4 o'clock or whatever time that Sunday, and Great Falls goes on to romp the Raptors in the first game of the day. It's like 18-5 or something. It's ugly. But at least it's over early. You know what the outcome's going to be, so the Raptors could rest their star pitchers for the final game.
Chase Chapman will stay in after the mound visit, and his first pitch to Vincent Temesvari is a strike.
So this is it's still emotional to think about. It still brings goosebumps. They have a meeting in between games of the doubleheader, be like, hey, we're not done. We've played together all year. This team loves each other. We just need one more to give this city something it's never had.
The 0-1 is hit foul out of play up the right field line.
And they come out in the second game of the doubleheader, Game 3 of the series, and they just start doing what they've done all year. They work the count. They get clutch hits. They're up probably 6-0, 7-0 into 3, and they cruise to victory, and they claim the title.
That is so cool.
Edwin Uceta was the Raptors pitcher in that game. He's gone on to pitch in the big leagues for several teams, most notably Tampa Bay. He threw about 6 innings of 1-run ball. And, the Raptors bullpen got it done. 8-3. I'll always remember that. That was the final score. Justin Hoyt was on the mound through the last pitch. Anthony Villa flied it to center, and our center fielder, who had a great year for us, Brian Morales, made the catch. And Ogden, for the first time since the 60s, and the first time of this current version of the franchise, had a Pioneer League championship.
Most recently, they have won back in 2023.
They did. They went up to Billings and got it done that year.
Trying to bring it back to Ogden this year. After the mound meeting, Chase Chapman did strike out the next batter, who is Vincent Temesbury.
So affiliations change, leagues change, players change, but the memories of, seeing Great Falls and Ogden still brings pretty fresh.
That is awesome. Next pitch misses outside.
And let me say this, hearing the little intro coming out of the commercial break, hearing the voice of the great Dave Baggett. I know he's not in attendance tonight, but I just owe everything to Dave for helping me get started here with the Raptors back in 2016.
Bags is the absolute best.
He sure is.
He often comes in the time that you're here right now and just comes in and chats with us. It's the
Very
most
nice.
hectic time of the booth that I think we ever have.
Well, I'm sad to miss him, but I owe him nothing but gratitude. He was the best when I was here, helped make sure I had everything I needed. He was great, and someone who's been around the game. He played the game for a long time. He's one of the best baseball men out there, and heck, year after year, that's why these fans keep coming back. It's because of what Dave does. Just a tremendous outreach from him and the Raptors staff and the community, and he is definitely Mr. Baseball here in Ogden. So big thank you to Dave Baggett.
3-1 to Willie Ponce. Next pitch misses outside, and he works a walk. We actually have Gilbert and Karen Ponce watching their son play his first professional baseball game at home from Kansas. They said, thank you for the broadcast. Go Voyagers on our text line. Mr. and Mrs. Ponce, I need to make sure that I'm saying your son's last name wrong. So if it's Ponce, you don't need to send in anything. But if it's Ponce, please let us know.
That's so awesome. Love things like that.
And then we also have Kevin Warwick's mom listening in as well. Vic. He is a relief pitcher for the Voyagers. If anyone wants to join the conversation, ask Joe any questions you might have. 385-240-1121.
So for Ponce, this is his first professional game? It's his
is.
debut?
Yep.
Wow. What a great setting to have it in.
Recent graduate of High Point. This next pitch is skied high in the air, apexing and just barely starting to come down now. Cole Jordan calls everyone off in the shallow infield, and he makes the catch for the fly out for the final out of the inning. No runs score in the top of the second, despite a few base runners for the Voyagers. And we will be back for the bottom of the 7th inning with the Raptors leading it 10-1 on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
Bowman Kemp Manufacturing has been in business for over 50 years. From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems. The rebar and structural departments supply the United States, while the basement window systems division supplies the United States and Canada from coast to coast.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Welcome back into the broadcast booth, GCB Computers broadcast booth, and Arden Locke. We've got Eric Kelleher out on the sidelines. I guess it's maybe along the base paths, not sure what it's called here at the baseball field. But Eric, can you tell us what you see down there?
Hey, I'm just hanging out on the patio up above left center. I wanted to hit a little touch base on the dugout vibe. I've noticed a trend, and it's something you mentioned last night, or 2 nights ago, the change of pace, how a team manages especially in the Pioneer League with 10-inning runs, 5-inning runs. I've noticed the Raptors, they stay positive. They cheer on their pitcher. They stay engaged. All the players in the dugout and the bullpen. But on the Voyagers end,
And that's a home run off of the bat of Cole Jordan. That's his second home run of the night, his 7th RBI of the night.
that was fun to see hanging out on the patio.
How'd that look from out there, Eric?
That was outstanding. I just wish it came to me. I'd have tried to catch it and get it back to him. Like, touching base on the dugout vibes. The Voyagers dugout has just been calm and quiet. Every middle of the 4th interview we do with their skipper, that's just the vibe. They seem steady. But on field, guys are ready to go. Raptors defense is solid. Outfielders, they're hitting their targets, getting the ball back into play to stop that extra base.
And another base hit will go down. That's Bradley Pell firing one into right center field, a base hit. And that's a great start to the top of this 7th inning for the Raptors.
Skipper Parker, his game plan with the defense and offense, it's just all coming together in this series. I think we're in for an amazing season, Arden.
I'm excited, and Eric, we are excited to have you along with us for the ride in our broadcast team. Thanks so much.
Welcome.
So a great start to the top of the 7th inning. It's time for Sebastian Greco to get going. If there was ever a time, it is now. Apparently, Vic, the father of Kevin Warwick, is a man, not a woman. That is his father. Jessica is his mother. I've been clarified on the text line. But yeah, we've got a lot of good action on the text line. This one is hit up the first base line out of play. Foul. We have Caden Knipes, aunt and uncle watching in. A lot of great stuff. The Raptors lead is extended to 11-1. Greco gets absolutely domed on the knee. That cannot feel good, but he wears it and will trot down to first base. Bell advances to second. And still no outs for Gio Ferraro and 2 runners on. Has the Pioneer League always been the type of league that is so high scoring and kind of explosive as you see nowadays?
Absolutely. I think now it is even a little bit more with, some of the crazy scores the Raptors like were putting up in Idaho Falls last week, like 19-12, for example. And I saw a game was 26-2, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think when it was affiliated, the pitching might have been a little better, but it was hit and miss. There's some parks in this league with extremely high elevation, obviously here in Ogden. We used to have the Grand Junction Rockies in our league, Rocky Mountain Vibes. Those were, but there were also some good pitchers parks, like when you get north to Montana.
Ferraro pulls this one up into left field. That'll go down as a base hit. Every runner will extend 90 feet. So Pell is now on third, Greco on second, and Ferraro on first to load the bases for Garrett Bavacqua.
Like I remember Dealer Park and where the Billings Mustangs play up in Montana. That was a pretty good pitcher's park. When the Helena Brewers were back in our league, that was also, I remember the ball could stay in there a bit. So it was hit or miss, but you would see the slugfest here pretty often, especially in Ogden, like 16-12. We had a lot of classic games against, especially like Idaho Falls and Orem over the years that were like that.
First pitch to Bavacqua is tipped foul for strike one. Garrett Bavacqua and Kyler Stincato have kind of been trading off time. Bavacqua started the year on the 10-day IL. It's good to have him back in the lineup for the Raptors. The 0-1 misses too low. Bavacqua only has 23 at-bats coming into this game, but he was batting .522 throughout all of those. He only has 3 RBIs on the season, 1 swing. Could all but double that and more here, but he doesn't connect on the 1-1 to make it 1-2. You can see Cole Jordan there on your screen if you're watching Home Team Live, the absolute hero of the game thus far.
Have a night, Cole Jordan.
And Bavacqua barely taps this one foul to stay alive.
And to cap it off like that, an absolute no-doubter over Raptor Ridge in right center. Wow, that's impressive.
Bavacqua stands in, still working against Raymond Ochoa. Raymond came in the 5th inning. Since then, the Raptors have scored 3 more runs. The 1-2 misses too low. Barranca uses his body to keep it in front, and no one is able to advance on the bases. The good news for Ochoa and the Voyagers is with the bases loaded, there is a force at every single base. Corners are playing pretty normal depth. Shortstop and second base fairly deep. The 2-2 is pulled. It'll be handled by the second baseman. They'll turn one over at first, but he drops the ball. Trey Cruz was unable to make the transfer for the second out. He got the first out, which was Gio Ferraro advancing to second, but then he dropped the ball on his transfer and was not able to get the out over at first, and we'll have time in a mound meeting, and they're going to make a call to the bullpen to replace Raymond Ochoa. So a run also does score on that base hit by Garrett Bavacqua, or I guess the fielder's choice by Garrett Bavacqua.
Yeah, the second base umpire ruling there that Cruz, it looked kind of close at second, but he did have his foot on the bag just long enough to get the force out. If he had taken one other step another direction, that could have gone the other way and the bases might still have been loaded.
It's always interesting. I trust and have watched a lot of baseball for the Raptors now and trust Evan Parker that if Evan Parker's not arguing, there's nothing to argue about.
The Raptors have had some managers over the years that have not been afraid to make their opinions known to an umpire and stand up for their team when they feel like it's been wronged. Mentioned Mark Kurtanian, he would do that. Jeremy Rodriguez got tossed a few times. Sean Larkin when he was here. And, of course, Austin Chubb, who was the Pioneer League Manager of the Year in 2019.
The skipper was tossed for the Missoula Paddleheads when they came to play here in one of the games. That was pretty exciting.
I bet the fans got into that.
He had to make a very, very slow walk all the way out. Because if for the visiting team, their locker room is all the way out by the left field wall, there's the door kind of in the quantum sign out there.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty long ways.
We'd always have fun with that over the years, especially when an opposing player or coach got ejected during the game and they had to hold it up and halt play for a couple minutes because they had to grab their stuff and make that trek all the way across the outfield grass to the clubhouse.
The new pitcher this time actually will be Jacob Bell. So everything we said earlier about Raymond Ochoa is actually true about Jacob Bell. So Jacob Bell came in and pitched in game 1 in this matchup. That was that absolute butt kicking. He went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 4 runs. 3 of them were earned, 5 walks and 1 strikeout in 15 batters faced. Ochoa walked 3 batters, and our starting pitcher, Sam Lavin, walked 7. So the Raptors have walked 10 times so far this afternoon, tonight. When the Raptors walk 10 or more times, they have only lost once, and that came in game 1 of this series. First pitch from Bell to Monzo. Monzo gets under this one. It's up the kind of right first base area. Going into the dugout, making the catch is the second baseman. What a play for the second out of the inning. He had to lean all the way into the dugout, did Aiden Redahan. And that was a great play. Half his body was in his own dugout.
That's a heck of a job to stick with that and make the grab.
2 outs now, runners on the corners. It's Garrett Bavacqua on first and Sebastian Greco on third for Dylan Wilkinson.
Well, this is my favorite time of night at Linquist Field. This is bringing back all the memories. You got the sun setting, but not all the way yet. The gorgeous temple in the background and a little bit of sun still glistening off those gorgeous Wasatch Mountains and straightaway center. I mean, when you're playing right at the mountain, basically, there is not a better setting anywhere in the country for professional baseball than this.
The way the sun hits the mountains right now and makes them look almost orange has
It
been
does.
what I've come to love.
And it looks almost fake, but it's so pretty.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. And I said it earlier on the broadcast, but I learned that the fence out there in the outfield matches the Wasatch. That's why Raptors Peak out there is
Exactly.
is a bit
Yeah,
taller.
Raptor Ridge.
Raptor
Yeah.
Ridge.
It's an
I knew that
interesting
was wrong.
curve. No, it's also one of the most uniquely shaped outfields in all of professional baseball, I think. You got the huge incline and the slopes and the drops. If you're playing outfield here, you got to stick with it.
The 2-2 to Wilkinson is fouled off, so he'll stay alive. The Raptors have tacked on 2 more runs in this inning. They lead it 12-1 with 2 innings left. The 8-home-run day that the Voyagers had in Game 1 is a memory of the distant past, as they have not had one in the last 2 games since then.
8 home runs. Wow. That's quite the offensive output.
There was 11 home runs total in that game.
Dang. Hopefully some fans left the ballpark with a souvenir that night.
I mean, they had to have.
There
was one home run that actually hit that building out in right field. It was the deepest one I have seen.
That's about 450.
The full
well,
count.
There's another one.
Dylan Wilkinson might have his own long ball offering. He watches it fly, and a 3-run shot puts the Raptors up 15-1. A no-doubter off the bat of Dylan Wilkinson.
Good timing.
The lights flicker here to celebrate the home run for Dylan Wilkinson. He had also been pretty quiet coming into today's game, only batting .297, but he is at a triple and a home run to go 2 for 2 today. The Raptors now up by 14. They're above 13 runs again. That is their 8th time in the last 9 games over 13 runs.
That's an incredible stat.
So Jacob Bell continues to work now against Tyler Gannis. Still 2 outs. The Cole Jordan home run and the Dylan Wilkinson home run have both come with 2 outs. Just barely close enough to taste the end of the inning, and then a long ball goes out of here, and it's far from over.
The Jurassic Park theme song getting a workout tonight. Raptors have played that after home runs for a long time, dating back, I think, to when this ballpark was first built.
Was claws up a thing when you worked here?
It was, yeah.
Okay. I've been learning that. The 1-1 misses outside. If anyone hits a home run, you'll see as they go past third base with skipper Evan Parker, they give him the claws up high five.
That's awesome.
(3-1) to Tyler Gannis. And he flies this one back over our heads, makes it a 3-2 count.
So what have you thought of the ballpark and the setting in your first couple of weeks calling the Raptors?
I've loved it. I went out to Boise, and I got to watch a few games there, and I've watched a lot of the games on Home Team Live, and I will say this is the best ballpark, hands down.
You guys opened in Boise this year, right?
Yep, that's the one I went out to. Gannis turns on this one. It's piped into left field, but that'll be handled by the center fielder. Coming in on it is Tema Savari, and that'll end the inning. But the Raptors score 5 more runs, their biggest inning so far in this game, and it puts them up 15-1 as we head into the top of the 8th inning on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
Little moments become big when you don't have to worry about your finances. Money can be a giant source of stress, but it doesn't have to be. Here at Ascent Credit Union, we work to empower our members to be able to manage their money easily, quickly, and most importantly, without stress. When you aren't worrying about your finances, you get to enjoy life more. That's why we are here. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years. Getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke here, and a new pitcher in for the Ogden Raptors. It is Landon Riley. So Chase Chapman goes 7 innings. That's his longest outing of the year thus far. He allows just 1 run off of 5 hits, no errors by his defense, and a 5 strikeout day. Best day for Chase Chapman of his year thus far. First pitch from Landon Riley misses too low. And continuing to just keep an eye on this text line, a pretty cool moment for me. My grandpa is listening in from California.
That's amazing.
Hi. So hello, Papa.
What part of California?
He is in Palo Alto.
Nice. That's a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, pretty awesome. So just here to talk about the game, but 5 seconds for it to be cool for me.
Oh, absolutely. Got it when your grandpa's tuned in.
The 1-1 to Kyle Schmack is fouled back out of play over our heads. I've had a debate going with everyone who comes here. Were those foul poles here with those things on them? I don't want to say the name. When you worked here.
No. Actually, thanks for pointing that out.
Do you think those are skis or snowboards?
I'd say skis, but I could be wrong.
That's my side. Tim Broussard, our executive producer, thinks they are snowboards.
Yeah, it's interesting that you point that out. Well, I think he's wrong too.
It's been an overwhelming agreement that they are skis, also because there's 2 of them and skis come in pairs.
Right.
The 3-1 from Riley misses low, and his first at-bat is a walk. Kyle Schmack making his way out on base. Schmack yet to have... he's had 1 hit tonight, then got out in a double play after that. So leading runner is on. The Voyagers need that runner and then 13 more. First pitch to Tommy Speck misses outside and low.
What an outing for Chapman tonight. When you consider the way the ball is flying in the Pioneer League this year and just all across the country in baseball right now, that's a Herculean effort. That was a great job.
And for the Raptors recently, they've really been searching for more starting pitchers. Nico Saltzformaggio has been really, really solid this year, but there hasn't been a lot of other people stepping up. Last night, Caleb Bunch went the distance. He did very well in 5 innings. And then tonight, Chase Chapman going 7 innings. Good to see maybe a couple more players stepping up in the pitching role.
And that's important because, I'll tell you after this pitch here.
1-1, it misses outside.
I mean, it saves the bullpen. You got 3 more against these guys against Great Falls this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, as the series goes on, offenses tend to thrive more and pitching staffs tend to become more tired. So if you have your top relievers at the ready heading into the weekend, that could, potentially give you an upper hand.
And that's really what allows you to string wins together.
Absolutely, especially at this level.
Good pitch by Landon Riley, catches the outside edge for strike 2. With the 6-game series schedule that is employed by the Pioneer League, 1 game can really seep into another because not only does a win give you momentum, but a win with good pitching really keeps the bullpens fresh for you.
And it can lead to tomorrow's starter. Just get the ball, throw strikes early on in the game, hopefully take an early lead, and follow the same formula.
The 3-1 misses outside, and it's another walk. So back-to-back walks to start off Landon Riley's night. No movement in the Raptors bullpen, so it'll be him for now. I mean, in that 22-13 loss, the Raptors used 6 pitchers. It was the starter, McMahon, and then Gardner, Riley, Neep, Ficklin, and Lewis. So Riley, who we're seeing right now, just went a third of an inning.
Did they get a position player in that game, or was it all regular pitchers?
All regular pitchers. Yep, all regular pitchers. But yeah, Landon Riley's last time out was not a great one. He only went a third of an inning, allowed 4 hits, 7 runs. All of them were earned, had 3 walks, just 1 strikeout, offered up 1 home run in 9 batters faced.
Hope he can bounce back tonight.
No outs, runners on first and second, both free passes. Not the start he wanted. We'll see if he can work back into it. The 1-0 for a called strike here against Will Rogers. He's been quiet tonight and yesterday. 0 for 4 yesterday, 0 for 3 today, so 0 for his last 7. Riley will step off the mound. It's Kyle Schmack on second and Tommy Specht on first. Riley back again, ready with his navy blue arm sleeves. He checks second. This one is lined up the first base line, but it's foul. Chapman did a good job not giving up too many free passes, just 2 walks. Landon Riley has only been in for 2 batters and change and already offered up 2 walks. What parts of this organization do you feel like are just at its core still present regardless of how many years it's been by?
I mean, like the fan experience, the attendance, like I said, another shout out to Dave Baggett for keeping this franchise in place. You know, obviously that's a very tough thing when they found out they weren't going to be affiliated anymore, but he made the best of a bad situation. And hey, look, the fans are still coming, packing the place every night.
Ball goes past Dylan Wilkinson all the way to the back wall, so that'll advance both runners 90 feet.
The community outreach, you know, I see all the time that players are going out and doing things in the community, and that's really important because say they're reading to kids or going to play catch. I mean, that just makes these kids' days, and it's something they remember forever as they're growing up, you know, around the game of baseball. This has just always been just such a good family-friendly, you know, affordable for people to go do on a summer night. I mean, really, nothing could be better in this town, I don't think.
The 2-2 is lined right back up the middle, shading into the right field area. It'll bounce off the wall. 1 run will come in to score. Another run goes to score. It'll be Rogers advancing all the way to second. And a 2 RBI double gets the Voyagers up to 3 runs on the day. Rogers' first hit in 7 at-bats. It was surprising to see him go cold as he went 4 for 5 in the first game. He had 4 RBIs and 2 home runs. So now 15-3, still in favor of the Ogden Raptors.
I'm going to guess, just knowing the way the fans are here, even when they, you know, took that tough loss the other night, I'm going to guess quite a few fans did stay until the end.
It's very impressive, and credit to all of the players as well, because after the game, the fans can come down and get autographs, and
That's
they
really
all
nice.
stayed there, and we're talking to fans, and win or lose, they are all about the fan experience.
See, that's just another wholesome thing that makes this place, it's just so special.
The 1-0 misses just a little bit too high, and it's 2-0. Nolan Ficklin is starting to warm up in the Ogden Raptors bullpen. Ficklin checks on second. Next pitch in the dirt in front of Wilkinson, It bounces all the way up about 2/3 of the way into the back netting, and that will allow Will Rogers to extend to third.
Are you going to get the chance to travel any more road series this year?
I don't think so. I'm mostly a home announcer. Obviously, anyone who has Home Team Live can just watch the games wherever they are, so you can just hear the home team announcer, and there's a bunch of great ones around the league. So I've just really been enjoying hearing from them and learning from them, and it's a great league to be a part of as a 4-pitch walk is given away to Anthony Swenda.
If you're able to, you should make the drive up to Idaho Falls, just a couple hours away, and their local broadcast legend, John Balgini, he's been doing it for a long time. He's still at it with the Chuckers. He's about as knowledgeable as anyone you'll find in the Pioneer League. Just, it's been a great resource for everyone.
I'll have to make a trip over there
To Melaleuca Field.
So that'll be the end of Landon Riley's night. Nolan Ficklin will come in. Nolan Ficklin has the best ERA of anyone on the team at a 3.29. He did get a little bit roughed up by the Voyagers in night 1, but quite honestly, who didn't on the pitching staff? In game 1, he came in for 1 inning, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. It's just that 2 of those were home runs in 7 batters that he faced. But as for his reliability. He's been good. 12 appearances at 3.29 ERA, a 1-0 record on the year. He's pitched 13 and 2/3 innings and has 11 strikeouts on the year to go along with 11 walks. So you'd want that ratio to be a little better in favor of the strikeouts, but you can live with that one.
True. He's been a workhorse. So this is the 21st game I think the Raptors have played this year, and it's his 13th appearance. He's been out there a lot.
He's often the one that you'll see warming up, and a Utah guy in a bit of a transplant way to Ogden. He's from St. George, spent his college time at BYU, and now playing for the Ogden Raptors. So someone who really appreciates the way of Utah life.
Talk about another gorgeous backdrop for baseball in Utah. BYU, that's another really hard one to beat.
And then there's also their football stadium, Lavelle Edwards, which is with the mountains behind it. I would say one of the best backdrops in college football.
There used to be a Pioneer League team that played there for a few years.
Oh, really?
The Provo Angels.
Very cool.
I want to say they actually won 4 Pioneer League championships in a row, and then they ended up moving to Orem, where they became
And is that the Orem team that you were talking about?
They became the Owls.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Owls played on the campus of Utah Valley University.
So Nolan Ficklin is ready to rumble. He will be going up against Trey Cruz, the hottest bat of the night for the Voyagers. He's 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. Has reached base on a hit every time he's been up tonight. Ficklin asks for the signs a few more times. And now gets them back. Wilkinson not using numbers behind the plate, but instead signaling with his body. It was hand to head, hand to knee, hand to head, hand to chest. Ficklin's first pitch misses outside. He's a player that likes to pitch with pretty good pace in between pitches. This one is lined up the middle. That'll go down as a base hit into center field. Coming in to score from third, and then the next runner will hold up on second base. That was Will Rogers coming in to score, and Anthony Swendo advanced over to second. Still no outs for the Raptors, and they've already allowed 3 runs to come in this inning.
Well, and that's where those extra runs that we got, 4 in the 5th, 5 in the 7th, they come in handy. You never know in this league, and you can never have enough runs.
That is really what I've learned is no lead is safe, no lead is comfortable until the clock. I guess there's no clock in this game, but the 9th inning is over, I guess you would say.
Until you get that 27th out and nail it down.
The 1-0 here, and that one misses. No, it catches the low edge of the strike zone. Catcher Antonio Barranca didn't love it. Barranca just 1 for 3 on the night, has 2 strikeouts. Chapman stands at the ready, glove at his belt. Kicks and deals with runners on first and second. Next one works inside. No action in the Raptors bullpen. Ficklin just facing his second batter. Barranca played for the Voyagers last year as the next pitch misses too low to make it 3-1. He also spent other time in the Pioneer League with the Glacier Range Riders. And played rookie ball for the FCL Braves in the Atlanta Braves organization.
He's gotten around a little bit.
The 3-1 works inside, another walk. That's the 4th walk of the inning, the first one offered up by Ficklin. So now it brings up Vincent Temesvari. He's 0 for 3 on the night, struck out twice and grounded out to first base. Bases are now loaded with no outs for Ficklin. First pitch is right down the middle for a called strike, 90 miles an hour for the BYU alum. Temisavari, a Los Angeles, California native, played his college ball at Gonzaga. Next pitch to him misses outside. Coming into this, he was 4 for 7 on the series, was playing very well. Tonight has not quite gone his way. He's now 4 for 10, batting exactly 400 in the series. Ficklin with just 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the next pitch works inside on the right-handed Temisavari. This has been a good bounce-back series for Vincent, as in his last 2 series, which were 2 3-game series against Oakland and Billings, he just batted .222. Much better performance in this one. The 2-1 to him is fouled back. He was way behind that 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and it goes out of play up the right field line. Joe, what do you feel like the biggest thing that has changed in the Pioneer League since you were working in it is, besides the affiliations, of course?
Right. Yeah, that's the easy one. You just look at the teams that are in the league. There's a big strikeout there. One out in the 8th, but I mean, unfortunately, a lot of teams have departed since I was last in the league. Grand Junction's no more, which is really sad to see. Rocky Mountain is no more. You know, the Helena Brewers departed when I was still in the league, but that was tough. There was a great history of baseball in Helena, about 100 years on and off. They had played ball up there, and now that's no more. And also the addition of numerous teams.
A lot of new looks. This one is lined up the middle. It's handled by Chase Valentine. They'll turn one at second, and that is all they will get. 1 run will score. That's Trey Cruz coming in. And now runners at the corners, but 2 outs.
And what a neat thing for the city of Oakland. You know, you got the Ballers last year, of course, their first year. They go all the way. They win, I think, 70-plus games, win the championship. Epic finals, come back against Idaho Falls to win 3-2. But that city was hit hard, obviously, with the departure of the Oakland A's, one of the, at one time, one of the most storied and proud franchises. And people, longtime fans there, were probably at a loss. So obviously it's not nearly the same level or ballpark or facility, but they were able to have baseball.
Opposite field on the run is Ferraro, and they'll get the 3rd out of the inning over at second base. But the Voyagers tick on 4 more runs to make it a 15-5 deficit. They'll come up to bat one more time in the top of the 9th, and the Ogden Raptors will try to pad their lead in the bottom of the 8th when we come back on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Joe Traub, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me, and keep up the great work, and go Raptors.
We'll be right back.
Bowman Kemp Manufacturing has been in business for over 50 years. From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems. The rebar and structural departments supply the United States, while the basement window systems division supplies the United States and Canada from coast to coast.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, and I've got Tyson Whiting back alongside me, Arden Locke. Bottom of the 8th, Chase Valentine will lead off. The pitcher is still Jacob Bell for the Voyagers.
Well, good to have Joe join us. I've been texting back and forth with Joe for about 6 years now.
This one is hit hard and will go down as a base hit in left field.
Another good game for Chase Valentine. 2 hits. He's reached base 4 times. Has walked twice, stolen a base. As Joe had mentioned, really getting those big innings. The 4 runs in the 5th and the 5 runs in the 7th. Really, it feels like the Raptors needed that with Great Falls getting 4 runs in the top of the 8th. And Cole Jordan, you talk about player of the game. Chase Chapman's been outstanding on the mound, and Cole Jordan, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs. He's been the star of stars for the Raptors tonight.
So good to see him back in form as well. Just takes one game to kind of get a monkey off your back, and he's truly done so tonight. I was Jacob Bell. I would pitch carefully to him. A big swing and a miss makes it a 1-1 count. Jacob Bell in his first full inning of work. That one, next one misses outside. Antonio Barranca has to reach across his body with his left hand, glove hand. They brought Barranca in instead of Will Hoyt to have his right-handed bat in the lineup versus Will Hoyt's lefty. Pulled up the third base line by Jordan, and that will go down as a base hit. Rounding second and going to third with immense speed is Chase Valentine, and Cole Jordan will extend to second as well. So a stand-up double. Have yourself a day, Cole Jordan.
5th time he's reached base. He's homered twice. He's doubled twice, 7 RBIs. There's no doubt he's the player of the game, and boy, he's got the captaincy for a reason. Cole Jordan's been outstanding this evening. It looks like that might be it for the right-hander Bells. There's a lefty warming up in the bullpen for Great Falls.
This will be Great Falls' 4th pitcher of the game. They had been very efficient to this point. In game 1, they used 4 pitchers. Yesterday, they used just 2 in Esteban Hernandez and Landon Smitty. But today, using 4. The Raptors have also been fairly efficient today, just using 3.
That's certainly big early in the series, considering it is a 6-game set, and both teams don't want to use the bullpen out too much in the first 3 games of the series.
So Jacob Bell's day will come to an end. Into pitch is number 34, Simon Murray.
Murray sporting long hair.
Kind of looks like Caleb Bunch of last night. His most recent appearance came against the Oakland Ballers in game 1 of that series in relief. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs against 4 batters that he saw. For the year, he has only... Let's take a proper look here. But in the last 3 games he's showed up, and he's only allowed 4 runs to score. For the year, 10 runs, 6 appearances. All of them have been in relief. He's pitched 6 2/3 innings. 9 strikeouts to go along with 8 walks.
From Lee's Summit, Missouri, which I think is actually pretty close to Kansas City. I remember a right-handed pitcher named Nathan Webb, who was in the Royals organization that was from Lee's Summit. Played his college baseball at Arkansas Tech. As you mentioned, a guy that can get a lot of strikeouts, but he's also somebody that has a little bit of trouble with his control from time to time.
I can confirm Lee's Summit is pretty close to Kansas City. My college roommate is actually from Lee's Summit. So I have some insider information there.
You got Lee's Summit, and I think Independence, Missouri is pretty close there as well. That's a beautiful part of the country, right there in the Midwest. So I imagine he went to quite a few Kansas City Royals games growing up, did Simon Murray?
I believe the Royals worked a nice win over the Cardinals today.
Well, the Royals have been off to a little bit of a slow start to this season, but they've got plenty of talent to, I think, bounce back. The AL Central is certainly interesting as the Chicago White Sox put together a pretty good run here in the first 2.5 months.
So the first batter that Simon Murray will face is Bradley Pell. First pitch catches the outside edge for a strike. Pell 2 for 4 on the night. 2 for 5, excuse me. Slow start. He was 0 for 3 through 4 innings, but then he has gone for a single and a double in the last 2 innings.
Oh, that second inning ground out to second base did drive in a run of the second inning. And with the Raptors racking up as many hits as they've had so far, it's another night where pretty much everybody in the lineup has had a good game. Chase Valentine, 2 hits. Cole Jordan, obviously, with 4 hits and 7 RBIs. Bradley Pell, 2 hits. Pretty much everybody's contributed.
The 1-1 to Bradley Pell misses too high. We had some action on the text line from Pell's family. They said, "Let's go Raptors." Bradley Pell's family is proudly watching and rooting on the Raptors. So a 4-run top of the 8th still saw the Voyagers trail by 10. And no outs with the runners on second and third now. Gives the Raptors the opportunity to pad their lead a little bit more. Game 1 showed them that this Voyagers team can score 10 in an inning. The 3-1 called strike, and we're full.
Two teams have been hot offensively as of late. With the 15 runs tonight, 8 of the last 10 games have seen the Raptors score 13 or more runs. In fact, over the last 9 games, the Raptors are averaging 14.2 runs per game, and that number just goes up with tonight's total.
And Pell thought that that was a ball, but caught the bottom part of the strike zone, and that's a strikeout. Pell launched his bat towards the dugout and got prepared to walk towards first base. And then our home plate umpire, Ryan Starks, said, no, that's a strikeout.
Yeah, Pell couldn't believe it, but looks like the Raptors might be out of challenges. Otherwise, he obviously would have tapped his hand on the top of his head.
I'm surprised because by my math, the Raptors still have 2 challenges. Sebastian Greco lines this one up the first base line. That'll be foul. Because if you think about it, I think the Raptors have challenged 3 times and have been successful all 3 times.
Well, maybe Pell didn't know that they had challenges left. Or maybe he was just upset at himself over taking the pitch.
There's also not a gamesmanship aspect, but when you're up by 10, there's maybe a level of respect.
There could be. There's a lot of unwritten rules in baseball, and it's possible that the red pocket strike zone challenge would create some unwritten rules.
Greco looking at an 0-1 count, swing and a miss makes it 0-2. He has already struck out 3 times tonight. That gives him 12 strikeouts on the season.
He doesn't get cheated at the plate. He'll go up there even with 2 strikes and take a good, healthy cut.
The 0-2 misses outside. Simon Murray trying to get him to chase, which I would say is a fair attempt with how swing happy we have seen Greco be.
Boy, Murray's got a pretty good arm. That last fastball was 92 miles an hour. May have trouble with his control from time to time, but Murray does have a good arm.
6'2", 230. Throw it hard. And another swing and a miss. 4th strikeout of the night for Sebastian Greco. And he'll take a all too familiar walk back to the dugout as Gio Ferraro will come in to bat with runners on second and third and 2 outs.
A tough night for Greco. Gets the golden sombrero with his 4th strikeout, but better nights are ahead for him. He came into play batting .400, 14 for 35. Just a tough night for a guy that's a pretty good hitter.
Ferraro.
Ferraro bounced one up the middle. Good play by the second baseman to throw out Ferraro, and that retires the side. As I think Arden choked on some water. We'll come to the 9th inning as Ogden leads Great Falls 15-5. This is the Ogden Raptors Baseball Network.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
Bowman Kemp Manufacturing has been in business for over 50 years. From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems. The rebar and structural departments supply the United States, while the basement window systems division supplies the United States and Canada from coast to coast.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting. Tyson, thank you for covering for me while I died last inning.
That's okay. I mean, everybody chokes on water every now and then.
Went down the wrong pipe, as we say.
That happens to me twice a week.
I'm glad to know. Maybe that was my twice a week. It actually hasn't happened yet a second time, so I might be in danger. This one is pulled into left field. That'll go down as a base hit. It careens off the wall. Basically, even with the door that they walk in, the Voyagers do for their bullpen. For their locker room, and a stand-up double to start off the inning is exactly how the Voyagers needed to start this one, and Kyle Schmack is responsible.
Well, you never know in this. You never know in the Pioneer League, 15-5. You know, as Joe had mentioned when he was on last inning with Noah Ficklin, he's a workhorse. 13th appearance for Ficklin already this season. It's only the Raptors' 21st game. He kind of reminds me a bit of Steve Klein, a left-hander that will work pretty much every day.
So next up is Tommy Specht with his wide-open stance. A runner on second. Tommy still yet to pick up a hit in this series. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, grounded into a double play, and then walked, as well as one fly out. So he is 0 for 9 in this series.
Great Falls just looking to get one more base runner to get their star of the night, Trey Cruz at the plate. Cruz is 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs.
1-1, no outs. Tommy Specht opens stance. He brings his right foot square now. Next pitch goes past him, and it's too low for a ball. Nolan Ficklin is still doing the work on the mound for the Raptors.
Doesn't look like anybody's throwing baseballs in the Raptors bullpen, but there are two people that, or it looks like 2 games of catch with footballs.
I think that is the first step of their warm-up, to my knowledge. The 2-1 to Specht, who stands with his bat on his shoulder, then pulls it up to the ready and swings away foul.
I know some pitchers, they'll start by throwing like a softball or a bigger baseball, maybe like a heavier baseball to start warming up. And for the Raptors, they throw the football around.
Essentially just swinging a weighted bat, but in the pitcher's equivalent.
I think Mariano Rivera would be one of those in the bullpen, the Yankees legend that would throw kind of a softball before tossing the baseball in the bullpen.
The 2-2 for Ficklin. Tommy Specht holds back nicely, and it's a full count.
We'll get every random relief pitcher. I was thinking about Steve Klein with as often as Noah Ficklin works. I know that the Twins had a closer named Everyday Eddie Guardado.
This Nolan might become known as Everyday Ficklin. The full count offering too low in the dirt, and that's a walk.
Well, a good eye by Spector on that pitch in the dirt. That was at 90 miles an hour for Ficklin, but just missed the zone. And with that, barring any double play ball, that does ensure that Trey Cruz will get another at-bat for the Voyagers.
The Raptors defense have completed 1 double play so far tonight. Tommy Specht grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. This brings up Will Rogers. First pitch to him misses outside. Rogers doubled his last time up, and it ended a cold streak for his hitting. He had been 0 for his last 7 before that double.
Rogers played at a couple big colleges. He was at Arizona State, followed up by the University of Michigan.
Rogers pulls this one into deep left field, and off the wall it'll go down. Coming around to score is Kyle Schmack. Behind him is Tommy Specht. It'll hold up on third base, and a stand-up double for Will Rogers scores one as the Voyagers continue their not done yet mentality.
Rogers found the left center field gap, and the center fielder Pell just couldn't come up with it. And Rogers with a double. That's back-to-back doubles for Rogers. He had a 2 RBI double in the 8th inning, an RBI double in the 9th. And the former Arizona State and Michigan product now has 3 RBIs in the night and 18 on the season.
The Voyagers had scored just 1 run through the first 7 innings. They've scored 5 in their last 2. This one as well, lined up the middle by Anthony Swenda, coming around from second to score. To go along with Tommy Specht scoring as Will Rogers. So that single into the outfield scores 2 for Anthony Swenda.
Just one good at bat after another for the Voyagers. A line driving in 2 for Anthony Swenda. That's his 16th and 17th RBIs of the season.
So the Raptors now just lead it by 7. Started the inning leading by 10. Another lefty up. It's Trey Cruz. You mentioned it, the hot bat tonight. 4 for 4. First pitch to him, misses outside.
There are no flames coming out of that bat of Trey Cruz, although he came into play tonight hitting just .239. So kind of a cold hitter. He's having a hot night. Nobody's looked like somebody's starting to throw a baseball in the Raptors bullpen. They have been throwing a football for about 5 minutes. So this isn't going to be a pitching change, as the right-hander has not had enough time to get loosened up. But Evan Parker just talking with Noah Ficklin, maybe to buy a little bit of time and also see if we can get Ficklin back on track.
I believe that's Caden Knipe warming up in the Ogden Raptors bullpen. He pitched last night and was pretty successful.
I do need new glasses. There's something every time I come to Lindquist Field, for whatever reason, it feels like I need glasses. But I think for Evan Parker, I think he's hoping that Ficklin can get a ground ball here and maybe a double play to kind of restore order.
The 1-0 double play is available as there is a runner on first. No outs. And the Voyagers have already scored 3. In the last inning, the Voyagers scored 4 before the Raptors recorded the first out, and then they got a few quickly. The 0-2 is swung on and missed by Cruz, excuse me. Cruz with 11 RBIs on the year. Coming into this game.
He's got 2 tonight.
Make it lucky number 13. The 2-1 is skied into deep left field. It has a lot of air under it. It might have the distance. And a diving Tyler Gannis doesn't able to make the play. It bounces off the left field wall. It's still rolling. A runner comes around to score. One more comes around to score. And the runner will score all the way from first. A double that I feel like could have been extended a little bit longer with how long that ball was rolling. Scores yet another run.
So that is the 3rd RBI of the night for Cruz and his 5th base hit. Like Gannis ran as far as he could to the left field foul pole, and it just kind of ricocheted past him and rolled towards the Raptors bullpen. And, with Cruz, he doesn't really have good speed, so he just held up at second. Obviously, you don't want to make the 3rd out at third base, and they also say you don't want to make the 1st out at third base as well. And now Evan Parker's making a 2nd trip to the mound, and that's going to do it for Noah Ficklin. And even though the Raptors still have a 15-9 lead, Great Falls is making it interesting here at the end.
Great Falls has scored 8 runs in the last 2 innings, and it will be Caden Knipe coming in. Caden pitched in the first game of this series, not last night. I misspoke slightly. He went an inning and 2/3, but he did pitch very, very well. The only pitcher to put up zeros in that game. It was the 22-run game. He faced 7 batters, didn't allow a single hit or a single run, walked 1, and struck out 2. Looking around the league tonight, Raptors right now are obviously leading this one 15-9. 6-run lead. That was 10 at the beginning of this inning. The Missoula Paddleheads are trailing the Oakland Ballers 12-7. And the Red Pocket Mobiles and the Yuba Scudder Freebirds are tied up at 3. The Glacier Range Riders and the Billings Mustangs are tied up at 4. They are in knockouts. And the Idaho Falls Chuckers in the bottom of the 8th are winning 13-5 over the Boise Hawks. They are looking to snap a 13-game losing streak.
Boy, lucky 13. The Chuckers have 13 runs tonight, bottom of the 8th inning, and barring Boise scoring 8 runs in either the 8th or 9th inning, Idaho Falls could get their second win of the season. It really is shocking to see them at the bottom of the standings as year in and year out. They're usually either at the top of the standings or they're at the very least somewhere in the middle of the standings. So to see them with just one victory, 1-18 coming into play tonight, certainly a shocker to me.
The Long Beach Coast are beating the Modesto Roadsters 6-4 in the bottom of the 6th. So the Glacier Range Riders and the Billings Mustangs are in knockouts. Billings is sitting at 15-4 on the year. The Range Riders 13-7. So interesting implications from that game. And it looks like Caden Knipe is ready to rumble here. His first batter he faces will be Antonio Barranca. His first pitch is in there for a called strike.
First pitch, 90 miles an hour from Caden.
Caden checks the runner on second. That is Trey Cruz. Next pitch misses too low and in the dirt. Wilkinson has done a good job behind the plate today. The only runs the balls that have gotten past him were, in my opinion, valid misses. And besides that, he's controlled the game very well. 1-1. Swung on and missed to make it 1-2. The Raptors still searching for their first out of the inning. The Raptors trying to win their second straight. The series is currently tied up 1-1 with the Voyagers taking the first game of the series 22-13, and then the Raptors winning in walk-off fashion yesterday 6-5. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Wilkinson handles it and throws over to third. The tag is not applied as the ball bounced out of Gio Ferraro's mitt. And I might have announcer cursed Wilkinson as that looked like a pretty straightforward snag out of the dirt, and he was unable to collect it.
Well, it didn't get past him or in front of him all that far. It was kind of an aggressive base running move by Trey Cruz. Close play. Cruz dove in there head first and was able to get to third on the wild pitch.
The Billings Mustangs do win in knockouts, so they'll move to 16-4 on the season. The next pitch is blocked nicely by Dylan Wilkinson, and we are full.
The Raptors just looking to find a way to get an out of any kind. As Great Falls already scored 4 runs, they've got 1 on base and still no outs.
So after that's the pass ball, Trey Cruz will stand over there on third. Swing and a miss, a strikeout for Caden Knipe in the first batter that he faces. And the Raptors fans might have a slight sigh of relief as they are 1 out closer to ending this game.
Vincent Temesbury, 0 for 4. He's got 3 strikeouts so far tonight.
And Temesbury came into this game batting pretty well in the series. He was 4 for 7 in the series. Did not have a good series against Oakland or Billings. In those 6 games, he was 4 for 18. First pitch from Caden Knipe misses too low for ball 1. Knipe with his glove at his face. Next one is fired in there, and it's fouled away back towards the Ogden Raptors dugout. 1-1.
Infield playing deep, almost as if they're going to concede a run on any ball hit to the middle of the infield. Obviously, it's still a 6-run Raptors lead. Outfield kind of playing straight away and deep.
1-1, catches the corner for a strike. They're challenging, but they don't have any challenges left to my knowledge.
It looks like the umpire is going to give him a challenge as he's looking back towards the press box.
Well, it's confirmed as a strike, the Red Pocket Mobile challenge, nonetheless. They definitely don't have challenges left now.
That's right. May have had one, but they've got none right now.
So it's now 1-2 to Vincent Temesbury. Still looking for his first hit of this ball game, trying to avoid strikeout number 4. And he does not do so. Caden Knipe has faced 2. He has sat down 2, and the Raptors are 1 out away.
Temesbury with the golden sombrero, 4th time he's struck out tonight, and he's 0 for 5 on the evening. A tough evening for a good hitter, but who came into play hitting .313. That's certainly a strikeout that Knapp needed. 2 outs, runner at third, and the Raptors just 1 out away from victory.
So now the Raptors don't care at all about Cruz, the runner on third. Willie Ponce in his professional baseball debut, trying to keep his team alive.
Still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3. Also walked. Hit .315 at High Point this season.
The 1-0 misses outside. With a win, the Raptors would move to 12-9 on the season. They'd pick up their 2nd win in a row. And they would have won 9 of their last 10. This one is hit into the gap into left field. That will score Trey Cruz and go down as a base hit. And not anymore, as Ponce retreats back to first base, and that's his first professional hit.
So they're going to make sure to get the baseball for him. The first base umpire asked for the ball, and they're going to throw it into the Great Falls dugout. That was a pretty good piece of hitting right between the shortstop and third baseman, the Tony Gwynn special. Ponce was a pretty good hitter at High Point, and it looks like he's going to be a good addition to the Voyagers for the rest of this season.
Back to the top of the order in Aiden Redahan. After him, if he is able to get on base, the Voyagers would have batted around the order. This one bounces in front of home plate. Wilkinson stops it with his body. It bounces up high in the air, but not enough for Willie Ponce to advance.
Third baseman Ferraro playing pretty close towards the line. Outfield playing extremely deep. In fact, the right fielder, Bavakwa, is just about 2 feet from the warning track.
1-0 misses too low, and it's 2-0 to Redahan.
Well, Redahan came into play hitting .444, and right now he's 0 for 5 at the plate. A good hitter that's having a tough night.
This one is hit to Knipe. He'll take it over and underhand throw it to Monzo at first, and that will do it for this one. The Ogden Raptors win it 15-10. The Voyagers made it close at the end by scoring 9 runs in the final 2 innings, but ultimately the 15 runs were too much for them to overcome. And the Raptors have strung together 2 straight victories. This one a little bit more convincing and maybe a little bit more comfortable than last night's, but they have bounced back very well since the end of their 7-game win streak. On the other end, the Voyagers will be looking to come back tomorrow in Game 4. Still a chance for them to take this series as the Raptors lead it 2-1 right now. We are going to take a quick break as the celebrations go on the field. And when we come back, it'll be time for the post-game show where we will name our flamethrower of the game as well as our batter of the game. But that'll be after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Here are those fries for you. Can I get you any fry sauce?
We would love some fry sauce.
We can help with that.
Delicious.
It's the spot. Nothing like Utah fry sauce.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, and the big board says it best. The Raptors win Arden Lock alongside Tyson Whiting, and the Raptors walk away with a 15-10 victory in this one. They end the game with 15 runs, 16 hits, 14 RBIs. They walked 8 times, struck out 8 times, and left 11 men on base. For the Voyagers, they went up to the plate 38 times. Scored 10 runs, 12 hits, 10 RBIs, 8 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 9 left on base. So interestingly, both teams had the same amount of strikeouts and walks as each other. But our flamethrower of the game has to go to Chase Chapman. It was one of his best outing, I'm saying it, of the year. He went 7 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, but it was earned. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts in 28 batters faced. I mean, man, did he look good in that one, Tyson.
Well, Evan Parker talked about him in the second inning, and it'd been a tough first 3 starts for Chase Chapman, but there's a track record of excellence based on the 8-3 record he had last year, and he looked just like he did last season. Through strikes, he only had 3 walks in 7 innings, attacked the strike zone, and when he needed to make the big pitch, he made the big pitch. I mean, at one point, he had retired 7 straight Great Falls batters, and so for Chase Chapman, a vintage form, 105 pitches, and just an outstanding effort for Chase Chapman, and certainly much needed. And as Evan Parker had mentioned in the second inning, we're going to give him a little bit more rope because he has earned it based on what he did last year, based on the work ethic he has, and his desire to be that type of ace pitcher. We've seen it from Nico Santaformaggio all year long, and Chase Chapman has really stepped forward here tonight and put together the type of outing that I think Raptors fans know he's capable of.
It was a tough night for Landon Riley, who came in to help relieve. Also not Nolan Ficklin's best night. Caden Knipe, though, came in and got the job done. His second straight scoreless relief appearance. He went an inning, allowed just 1 hit, no runs. On the other end, it was Sam Lavin having a tough day on the bump. He got the start for the Voyagers. He went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned in 8 walks. Raymond Ochoa came in for an inning and 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. And then it was Jacob Bell and Simon Murray finishing it off. The bat of the game, the golden bat, has to go to Cole Jordan. He was 4 for 5 on the day, had that grand slam, and also had a home run. 7 RBIs in the day, scored 4 times himself. Have a day, Cole Jordan. It should also be noted that Dylan Wilkinson, who came in to start at catcher, hadn't been playing a lot recently, entered into the day with a sub-300 ERA at 2.97. He went 2 for 2, scored 3 times himself, and had 3 RBIs.
Big day for Dylan Wilkinson. He had the 3-run homer in the 7th inning. The 2 big hits, obviously the grand slam for Jordan in the 5th, and then the 3-run homer for Dylan Wilkinson. And with Great Falls putting together that comeback bid in the last 2 innings, those 2 homers turned out to be the difference. And you can't forget about Garrett Bavacqua. He had 3 hits tonight, and he's been outstanding at the plate. He is now 15 for 28, batting average of over 500 to start the season. So a lot of stars for the Raptors tonight. Jordan, Wilkinson, and Bavacqua leading the way.
Bats to watch out for coming up tomorrow on the Voyagers. Trey Cruz went 5 for 5 tonight with 3 RBIs. Great day for him. Will Rogers 2 for 5, but 3 RBIs in there. And Willie Ponce, in his first start, had a single that scored 2 runners. A great professional debut for Ponce. We'll be back tomorrow for Game 4 of this series. The Raptors currently lead at 2-1. They go to 11-9 on the season with that win. The Voyagers fall to 7-13. Tomorrow is Weber State night here at Lindquist Field, 6:30 p.m. The Voyagers will take on the Raptors once again. Thank you so much for listening to us tonight. As always, so many thank yous are in order. Tonight, Alan Hill was our technical director. Tyson Whiting was my color alongside myself, Arden Lockett, play-by-play. Our field cam was manned by Aiden Haney. Our action cam was by Joshua I. Jacob. Graphics and shader were Eric Kelleher. He was also our sideline reporter tonight. As always, our media manager is Haven Aurelia Miller. Our photographer was Tylee Allen, and our videographer was Aiden Haney. And the man who makes all of this work, who keeps all of this running, our executive producer, Tim Broussard. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Thursday evening, and we hope you'll come back tomorrow for Friday Night Baseball at Lindquist Field. Arden Lock alongside Tyson Whiting saying so long from the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.